2, 1. Yo, everyone, you're listening to Filmmaker Mike and the boys. Joining me for this episode is Pinhead.
So,
and Kuya.
Hello.
Yeah. So Jester is, I guess.
Wait.
Oh, there's Jester. There he is, with a camel.
Hi.
With a camo flesh mask. So
we miss you, buddy. We miss you.
We miss him. We hope he's okay. I just sent him a text before we started.
back with the mask on.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. So if you guys are listening, if you want to see the antics on screen, you can always check us out on YouTube at Filmmaker Mike. Just search for Filmmaker Mike. That's 1 M in the Filmmaker and Filmmaker Mike. So you can see the video if you prefer, or if you've never seen our faces, well, you guys are missing out. Like, holy shit. And spoiler alert, for those of you that thought that we quit podcasting because we haven't had a show in 2 weeks, well, guess what, fuckers? So they were probably like, oh, no new episode, not even one. Like, they're like, holy shit, they quit. Like, they're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
we just got done blowing our loads off of the Snyder Cut, so
we're like, you know what?
We need a little rest.
How do you follow up such epicness? You know. By the way, those episodes have done really well. The last 4 episodes, have done really well. So I'm like, that's awesome. So thank you guys for listening. And they're probably like, yep, that's it, we're done.
Good riddance, bad rubbish.
Yeah. So
they just wanted to listen to the Snyder Cut, and then that's it. And we're like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's all we waited for. Now they're done. But wait, there's more. So just quick heads up why we didn't have a show last weekend. My mother-in-law in the Philippines was rushed to the hospital, lots of complications. And for those that are not aware, right now in the Philippines, there is a huge spike in COVID cases. And the numbers, I mean, if you talk about the numbers here in the States, yeah, you can say that it's not as accurate, but I think here it's more accurate in a first world country. It's a little off, but over there, it's a third world country. So they were saying like around 15,000 cases a day, but that's only people who can afford to get a COVID test. So in the Philippines, a third world country, lots of people who are struggling can't afford 5,000 pesos for a COVID test. That's roughly, I'm trying to see.
Divided by 50.
So
it's like $100. 5,000 pesos.
Right now the current conversion is around 46 pesos to a US dollar. So it's around $108, $108 for a COVID test. Yeah. So that's the unfortunate thing over there. Not very many people can afford can just shell out $108. It's either they spend that on a COVID test, or they just deal with it and then they just use that money or whatever money they have to buy food for the day, you know. So unfortunately, anyway, I was ready to do the podcast that night, but then as we got closer to the evening, and the current developments, I started feeling like this doesn't feel right. I don't feel like, you know, it's right for me to do the podcast. And I just wasn't in that mindset and mood to do it because of course my wife was like, you know, really struggling. So, and she told me just to do it. But I said, no, I can't. I can't in my good conscience just do the podcast and just leave you, you know. So I just hung out with her. And we did watch a couple movies. We checked out Our Idiot Brother with what's his face? Goodness gracious. Ant-Man. Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, which I thought was a surprising. I thought it was an entertaining movie. It's from 2011. It was on Hulu. I haven't been to Hulu in a while. I haven't checked it out. and there's a bunch of stuff there. So I was like, I'm paying for this service, gotta check it out. And then after that, we watched Palm Springs.
Mm.
Palm Springs, beautiful film. I highly recommend it. I don't want to say much because if I say much, I may give something away. Just check it out. If you're in the mood for something different, there's some humor, there's some romance, there's some comedy. But if I say more than that, I'm afraid that I'm gonna give something away. So just check it out. It's on Hulu. If you have Hulu, check out Palm Springs. I think it's a well done film, and it's something that it got us like talking about it and thinking about it a lot. Like, and I think I even when I went to bed that night, I had some vivid dreams like the next morning regarding that movie, and I was like, "Whoa, that was a little crazy." Anyway, fast forward to yesterday, my mother-in-law passed away. She was really struggling, so it was time, unfortunately. So and that's why like I wasn't even planning to do the show tonight, but when I was talking to the wife about it, she said, no, go do it because she has to do some homework. So I was like, okay, then as long as you're cool with it, then, and she's usually just like, just go do it. So, but if you were to ask me earlier when I was sending you guys messages, before I sent you guys a message, I was just like not feeling it. And that's why my original plan was like, hey, let's do it tomorrow night, Sunday night. But then as we had discussions, so anyway, my mother-in-law passed away. It's rough because right now, of course, in the Philippines, since there's that huge spike in COVID cases, there is a travel ban. So if you're not a dual citizen of the Philippines and the United States, if you don't have a Philippine passport, you cannot fly right now to the Philippines. There is a travel ban until April 21st. So that's I think the roughest part, because if there was no travel ban, my wife and her siblings would have been able to just fly instantaneously over there to be with their mom.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's the roughest part. But the nice thing was at least they got to FaceTime with their mom yesterday, and we got to pray over her, and they got to say their goodbyes. They saw her, and they were really telling her like, we're sorry we can't make it. There is a travel ban. There's just no way. And this is, I think that now this is the first personal impact that I've experienced as far as COVID related. I know some family, and I know Kuya, of course, got COVID. Fortunately, you guys are okay.
But nothing too personal. Nothing as personal as this one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This hits home. Like this hits hard, and that's like the roughest part too. Because like, man, like, had there been no travel ban, again, they could have just flown there. But our hands are tied basically. So but it's okay because at least now we know that she's resting. She's not hurting or not suffering anymore. Of course, it's still rough and hard to let go of that person that you love. And I shared something on my Facebook and my Instagram. Like, I only met her once personally, 2016, when I got to go home to the Philippines. But I realized, like, even if I haven't really spent time with her in person, I'm constantly getting to know her through my wife and then my brother-in-law, both my brother-in-laws and my sister-in-law, because she raised them. So, I just want to say to Mommy Helen, we love you and we miss you. Don't worry about your kids. They are okay. They're in good hands, and your legacy will, and your memories will live on in your children and your grandchildren. So, and hopefully when the time is right, when we can go home to the Philippines, we will be able to visit her in her grave over there. There is a funeral planned on Tuesday. So, and we will do a FaceTime so that we can still be there, without physically being there. So, all righty. But yeah, I also thought, like, you know what? Yeah, I could use this So I'm glad that, the wife said, yeah, go do it, because I could also use it. Like, man, I was telling Pinhead, like, man, it feels like forever since we did a show,
Yeah.
No, it was just
you
last
know?
week.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, especially like this week, it's like, wow, it's like, and it feels like so much has happened in the last 2 weeks. Like, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
no, like I told you on the private chat when you said like you wanted to cancel it and all that stuff. We were like, oh, okay, cool. No problems. I'm just gonna watch I'm gonna watch a movie in Hulu, and I haven't seen the 13th Warrior in a long time, and fucking I loved it, every minute of it. I don't know
Yeah,
if you guys have seen it. For
it's
me,
been a
it's like
while. It's been a while.
I'm entertained by it all the time, even though it's weird. It's not let's just say it's not historically accurate, but it's for me it's a fun watch. So if you guys like Antonio Banderas, and yeah, you guys will enjoy that one because it's a fun watch. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm glad you're everybody's doing okay in the family, Mike. Like
So am I, man.
it's hard to not like to not to be helpless in that sense that you
right.
can't do anything about it. I'm glad you took that last week off to be with Julie, and I'm hoping she's doing okay. Uh, yeah, and I hope Vaughn and Portia and everybody else are doing okay too. So
Yeah, they're doing okay. It's rough, but they're doing okay. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone's and everyone who sent messages and texts, and they've been receiving nothing but love, and from family, from friends, from people who knew their mother. Like, it's just amazing how, and overwhelming, with all the love and support that they've gotten. So yeah, so that yeah, it's just one of those things in life. Unfortunately, it's
Shit.
sad. It's a sad reality that as we get older, our parents get older. Even our heroes. Basically, our parents are heroes. Whichever. As we get older, when we were kids, we didn't think about any of this stuff. We didn't worry about it. Maybe once in a while, if there was a death, in the family, we were there. We attend, but then it doesn't affect a kid, I guess, in a sense. I don't want to diminish it, but as much as when you're an adult, I guess, because you see more of the impact. Like, it's a different impact. So, but yeah, but hey, life goes on. We just gotta cherish the time that we have, because we just don't know. We really don't know. So, you know, just gotta make everything count. So, alrighty. Yeah. So within the last 2 weeks, lots of entertainment for, man, whatever crazy reason, of course. We had the Snyder Cut Justice is Gray edition drop, which was exactly a week after the initial launch of the Snyder Cut. And then, of course, a lot of people who didn't understand were like, what a cash grab. Or like, what a cheap gimmick. And then to those people, of course, I say, and I've responded in comments, for the uninitiated or the plain ignorance, the plain ignorant people. So for those who are not fully aware, Zack Snyder, the Snyder Cut, before the rough cut that existed within his hard drive with the unfinished visual effects, was in plain black and white. So for the longest time, the film, that's his preferred version of the film, in black and white, because that's the version that he's lived with, ever since after he left Justice League in 2017. So a lot of people don't understand that, and that's why when he showed the rough cut of the Snyder Cut to Warner Brothers and DC Comics and AT&T and HBO Max executives in November of 2019 at his house, that's the version they saw in black and white. So when you look at the description on HBO Max, it says something like, this is the version of the film that only few have seen before, but now they're bringing it, of course, they're letting everyone else see it as it existed initially before the film was completely finished. So yeah, when it dropped, we got it trending on Twitter. All the fans were trending, and then yeah, it was it's really cool to see because it's just, again, for whatever reason, in black and white, you see way more details, especially in the close-up shots of Steppenwolf. You see the details on his face, and you just see like you see Gal Gadot, and she's like in black and white, and it's like I'm looking at a 50s movie pictures, like a Hollywood star in the 50s in black and white. And there's just something dramatic about the black and white that, you know, but granted, the color, like, you know, when the Green Lantern is there, when in the history lesson, you don't see that green ring, but, you know, but it's just another, it's a very acquired taste, but I think it's very cool. Pinhead, I know you've seen it.
Yeah.
Any
I
thoughts?
actually enjoy this. Excuse me. I actually enjoy this cut better. You know, it's like a Kurosawa film and other things that have been out in this format. I know he's a fan of that, so he's kind of trying to put that in a superhero aspect. So I really respect that. So I enjoy this cut better. Like you said, that as weird as it sounds, in the gray, black and white, you do see things pop out more. You would think you would see it more in the color, but you really do see things pop out because you're not distracted by all the bells and whistles. That's why you see things pop out like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't notice that there. I compare it to The Mist, Frank Darabont's The Mist. It's a fantastic horror film, one of the best Stephen King adaptations ever made. It's even better in the black and white edition. And most of the people that have seen both versions agree with me. And I'm pretty sure down the line, people will agree this version is much better. They're both great versions, but this is my preferred version.
I mean, you know, Mike and Mike was right. It reminded me of like an old Hollywood movie.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like the way Pinhead, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong here. Like the way the film was shot, and when it was in black and white, it did look like one of them film noir type of movies, like like old time, like um shit. Dare I say it, like Citizen Kane type of thing, like
That's that. I
Kurosawa.
didn't. Well, I'm glad you said it
It's a
because I
little.
didn't want to say it. You know.
I know it's a hot take, yeah, but I'm
I
saying
know.
I'm just saying like the way it was shot, like how let me see the scene with Alfred and Bruce when they were talking about you've done it, you've the even in the previews, right? But
Yeah.
when you see it in real time when they were talking about it, like the way that the lighting on Alfred's face and the way this lit on Bruce's face, it was just like I was just like, man, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And don't feel bad. I'll be crucified right there with you because I compared it to a Kurosawa film, and that's
Hey,
sacrilege.
you know what?
That's
Like
sacrilege.
we can compare it to to classic films and classic all that stuff because again the shots of the movie were beautiful. I don't it's not like we're comparing fucking Captain Marvel in black and white to you know what I'm talking about, right? Like I'm just saying like this is actually a better film than that,
And that's why that's why I compare it, because if it was direct material, then you could put all the black and white all you want. It'd be a piece of shit.
Right.
It's the material that speaks for itself.
Like,
what I'm saying is this black and white adds on to this great material for me. For me, for
Yeah.
my personal taste, I like this cut better because it adds, and like Mike said, it pops. You see these things. For me, I'm not speaking for anybody else. So all you guys, don't do it. You know, I get it. I'm speaking for me, Pinhead, James. I'm speaking for me. This is the cut I prefer because it's just with the material that is this grand, especially at the runtime. I like this. I like this cut the best. So that just for me. Once again, for me.
Yeah.
no,
The fact-
even
Stop.
even the scenes with Cyborg, right? All the tech stuff.
Mhm.
It looked fantastic in the fucking black and white. I'm just like, how the hell did that happen?
Right.
Steppenwolf looked even more
Yeah.
intimidating in the black and white. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, his armor
Yeah.
in chrome and everything.
You
Like,
can actually see the thing, like
Yeah, it's alive,
the
yeah.
little
Yeah,
things
I
go
was
this.
like, oh fuck, look out.
yep. And then as far as Pinhead, comparing it to Kurosawa, you're actually on the money there because if you look on HBO Max, there's a short video of every time they have like a big film premiere. They have a video of Zack Snyder talking about his film recommendations that are on HBO Max. And one of the films is Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa, which I did start watching. And
That's a fantastic film.
yeah, I did start watching it. That's a 3-hour film in black and white, and I know that's one of the classics. And I know I should have seen it before, but when
Hey, you know what?
when Lord Snyder says it, and I think the Justice is Great edition of 4 hours has prepared me for the Kurosawa 3 hours. I mean, that's nothing now, you know.
Take
So
one.
yeah.
It doesn't even feel like it was a 3-hour movie. Seven Samurai.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh,
But yeah,
it was so good. It was, again, directors with vision, like, you know, like, again, film, like, you know, movies is a visual art, right? So people with a good eye, the people that want to see, you know, paint a beautiful picture but moving picture, they can do that. Kurosawa does that. Fucking who else? Um, who else is a visual fucking director?
Ridley Scott does
Ridley
it
Scott.
fantastically.
Um, what's his name? Clockwork Orange guy.
Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick.
Kubrick. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like all of these guys, they're so visual. Like, you know, like when you read the book and you try to visualize what you think, you know, that you see in the book for Clockwork Orange, for The Shining, and all that stuff in there, and then you see it in the movie, you're like, oh yeah, like, shit. Like, I think his imagination is better than mine. What the fuck? Like,
Right.
you
And
know,
then,
so
yeah, go ahead.
no, but like, you know, Zach again. You know, it shows that, like, he is like, he may not be a strong, you know, storyteller, because like, the critique for him is that he's great at adaptation, right? He's great at the adapting, like the movies, like, you know, all the movies that he's been successful at, he adapted it, you know, all that stuff, like 300, Dawn of the Dead, and all of these things. But
Man.
you know, he's a visual director. He's fucking fantastic at it.
Right.
Like it. Like, I don't know, Stevie Wonder would fucking like listen to the movie and probably think it's beautiful. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. So also on Twitter, and I'm sure also on Vero, if you follow Zack Snyder or you check his account, he did post yesterday an alternate take on the scene of Batman and
Oh.
Joker, where Joker does say we live in a society. Because if you remember, I think that was the money moment, the big moment in that final trailer that I'm sure like people watched over and over. So he posted an alternate take on that scene, and even with the because that was part of the additional photography that they did last year. And there's even a part where the greens, because they filmed it against green screen backdrops, and there's even a part where it's just the lighting, that you can see the lighting and it's, or the background like turns on at a certain point when you're looking at Joker, and it's just great. It's great to see. I can't wait for the Blu-ray. Supposedly, we're on the Blu-ray. We're also going to get not just the color version, but also the Justice Great edition on there.
Perfect.
Well. So that is really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, and then
that's gonna sell out like hotcakes.
Oh.
yeah,
like, everywhere.
speaking of selling out, they did a 4K IMAX version, remastered version of Batman v Superman, and it's sold out in like 5 minutes online. And I can't. I'm hoping for a restock. I don't even have a 4K player, but I want it because this year, hopefully by Thanksgiving, around Black Friday for my birthday, I want to get a 4K Blu-ray player so I can pop that baby in. But I did notice, because of course I bought the, you know how digital movies will like launch digitally first before, like 2 weeks before the Blu-ray traditionally. Of course I did for certain movies. I could not wait. I bought it digitally, and then I bought the Blu-ray, which also had another digital copy. So I did it for BVS, and BVS on my Apple TV, they also updated BVS to that 4K IMAX version on digital. And now when the opening starts, I'm still going through it, but when the opening scene starts with the leaves falling, and then of course you're getting the back the death of the Waynes at the beginning, and then Bruce running, from the funeral, that is now in 4:3 aspect ratio.
Wow.
So there is something about, I know a lot of people complain about the 4:3. Why? Because everyone's TVs now are widescreen. And of course, ever since they, one of the biggest complaints that I noticed from a lot of people was like, why is it in 4:3? Why is this film in 4:3? But for me, when the movie started, when I started watching Snyder Cut, like I just got immersed in it for whatever reason. That format is very immersive. And when you get close-ups of characters, like it's just like you're there. And that opening scene in BVS, when the thief is holding the gun, and then it's on the pearl necklace of Martha, and the gun is like, it's like, wow, incredible. And I know also the other scene that's in that remastered 4K IMAX format is the nightmare sequence in BVS. So I can't wait to watch that because they did a preview for it. But yeah, I'm hoping that they will restock that 4K Blu-ray for BVS, because I mean, Warner Brothers likes money, right? We hope that it would only make sense to restock it, because now for whatever reason, also Conversation, a lot of people who did a rewatch of Man of Steel and then BVS leading up to the Snyder Cut, more and more people are now appreciating Man of Steel, even BVS.
Yep.
And seeing the vision that Zack Snyder has had for those three films.
People actually understand now what the fuck Martha means.
Right. But and people, and we're gonna in our next segue in Godzilla versus Kong, there's memes about it, and I'm correcting people. It should not be Martha. It should be Mothra. Mothra is my mother. That's my mother's name. So yeah. Next up, Godzilla versus Kong, which debuted March 31st, right? Just days ago. On HBO Max and in theaters. It's making all the money in theaters.
It's squashing the box office right now.
Right. And which is why I think part of the reason why they also moved Mortal Kombat from April 16 to April 23, like a week later, if I'm not mistaken, because they don't want ticket cannibalism. They don't want people to they want that week is a huge, is more time for Godzilla versus Kong to keep making money before another Warner Brothers picture, opens up. So
yeah, they don't want Mortal Kombat to face that fatality. So
right. So which is a smart play. I mean, it's a week, and still people were crying and whining. I'm like, it's a week, people. We've been in this pandemic for over a year now. Surely you can wait a week.
Calm your tits. Like Steve, Steve Harvey's gonna be there. Don't worry about it.
And please, if you're looking for something to do or watch, there's so much to watch on HBO Max. Go watch the Snyder Cut again and #restore the Snyderverse, because holy shit, did we break records? We hit 1.4 million tweets on Twitter alone in less than 24 hours, breaking the previous record for Avengers Endgame.
Yep.
And if that's not, if that doesn't let Warner Brothers know that we want more of the Snyderverse, give us Justice League 2 and 3, like, come on. What else do you guys want? And they haven't released any numbers yet. They haven't released anything, but we've already seen that the Snyder Cut alone has driven, like, it seems like approximately 16 million subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just afraid that they're going to release a statement now after, like, next week, after the debut of Kong versus Godzilla, and they're going to say, oh, we got X amount of million subscribers from Godzilla versus Kong, when in fact they didn't release the Snyder Cut numbers first. You know what I mean? Anyway, Godzilla versus Kong, you guys have seen it. Your spoiler-free reviews, please, because I haven't seen it yet. I've only seen parts by because my brother-in-law was watching it earlier. But go ahead.
The monster scenes were great. We didn't need. I personally, I didn't need some of the human elements, like human scenes. I really could care less. But the monster scenes were great. The premise of the reasoning why things happened at the very end was good. I really liked it. There's a lot of homages to like other movies and all that stuff, and there's a lot of I don't know, Pinhead, correct me if I'm wrong, but you notice a lot of Marvel jokes, like a lot of like Marvel type jokes, yeah, kind of.
I didn't. I noticed some 80s action movies in there, but
Oh yeah, like but like like you're talking to me like like the kid from Deadpool, right?
that's okay. I was like, it was pissing. Okay, thank you, because it was really pissing me off who that kid was. I'm like, I know this kid.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was pissing me off because I've seen this movie 3 times. And I was like, who the fuck is this kid?
Fantastic actor, by the way. Great,
Yeah,
great guy,
fine.
great guy. Whatever. The character, yeah. He was.
I could kind of understand the Marvel jokes, especially.
He was the Korg of this movie. Let's just say that.
Oh man.
I don't even know if he was that good, to be honest.
Oh wow, shit.
That's giving him a little too much credit, to be honest, in my opinion.
No, but again, like for me, I love the action scenes. I love where the story was. They were really hyping up both monsters as the alpha monsters, right? Which was cool. And you might start cheering for one or the other or both at the same time, because during their fights I was cheering for both of them. It was weird.
Yeah.
Like like when I see Godzilla get some from Kong, like, yeah, Godzilla, fuck him up. And then like when King Kong does something funny or does something incredible, I'm like, yeah, King Kong, fuck him up. I was like, whoa, wait, I'm supposed to choose a side here. What the hell?
Yeah.
But it was it's if people if the dictionary has like a picture for popcorn movie, this one is a popcorn movie right here. Like I can put this movie poster on as a description of what a popcorn movie is, and it'll be fun. It's fun for people. I liked it personally.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus. A lot of people are enjoying it, but a lot of people are like picking a side, of course, like Team Kong or Team Godzilla. And all the memes like radioactive lizard versus giant monkey. Like, what's giant monkey gonna do?
You're gonna see.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit, maybe a little too much, but I mean, whatever. I'm like, I prefer. So we're planning to watch this on a big screen and have a private watch party.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, I shared this with you guys yesterday. Jesse, our boy, DM'd me on Instagram, and he was asking, about whether when we were going to have that private watch party because he wants to join us. And I said, yeah, sure, you can join us. I'll let you know. So I still got to work the details out. And then some of our coworkers as well in different departments at our workplace were also like interested. So I'm like, wow, we're actually going to get a pretty good group here. And it seems like it may even carry over for Mortal Kombat if they're going to do that private watch party as well.
It wouldn't be funny if you trap them and you say, "Oh, we're gonna watch Godzilla versus Kong," but it's actually the Snyder cut.
Right? I wish, right? Like 4
Oh,
hours.
No,
My
the black and
God.
white, the black and white Snyder cut.
I'm like, y'all don't be big babies. You suck it up. Y'all binge shows on Netflix. 4 hours is kids play. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing it on the big screen. A lot of people are saying, yeah, this is a movie for the big screen. But hey, it's great that again, HBO Max bringing us the entertainment, coming out in the gladiator ring of Hollywood as Maximus Aurelius, or whatever his last name is. Like, are you not entertained? Are you fucking not entertained, you motherfuckers?
Pinhead, what do you think? Because like I was talking to my sister about this because she asked me if the movie was good, and I said it was good, and she asked me should I watch the other movies prior to this, and I told her to gain some reasoning why people thought Godzilla saved the world. Maybe you should watch King of the Monsters, like the last Godzilla movie, and that's it. You don't even have to watch King Kong. You don't even have to watch the original Godzilla for this MonsterVerse. Just watch the one with Ghidorah and all that stuff. And then so what do you think about that? Or can you just watch this movie without even worrying about the other movies and stuff?
I mean, for perspective, you could watch it and it would matter, but
Any regular can just watch this and they'll have fun,
you
right?
don't really need to. It's not necessary, and we know that it's not necessary because a lot of y'all didn't go out and see King of Monsters, and you didn't see the first one, and you're gobbling this one up. So you asked me my opinion on this. I'm going to say this in perspective. This movie is heading into a $43 million weekend.
Yep.
So people are gobbling this movie up. They're liking it. They're choosing sides. They love it. They're enjoying it. And I hope you keep going to see this. I hope people continue to see this in the theater because I'd rather see this shit succeed than these fucking Marvel movies.
Oh boy. Shots fired. Bringing the heat.
The MonsterVerse is amazing, man. The MonsterVerse is amazing.
So Godzilla, King of the Monsters, I did enjoy that. And that's also on HBO Max. If anyone who's listening has HBO Max and you haven't seen the other films, if I'm not mistaken, they're all there.
They're all on HBO Max.
So
you have no reason not to see it.
Yeah, you might as well check them all out because I mean, your $15 you're getting your money's worth, not just with brand new releases day and date on HBO Max and in the theater, but there's so much content there. Like, enjoy it and really like make good use of it. So now my question is this: as far as we know, this is the last film where they have the rights for Godzilla, right? And it goes back to
from what we know so far.
Yeah,
they're from what we know, and this is helping. They're looking at how this film will do, deciding if the rights will continue. Or if they just say, you know what, you've had your turn at bad, enough's enough.
Right.
Because Toho, they really don't like us because of the Ronald Emmerich Godzilla. They didn't want to give us these rights to begin with to have this MonsterVerse.
Right.
It took Gareth Edwards and Legendary to actually come forward with a manuscript to them for them to actually give the rights away. And it was like pulling teeth. So we don't really know what they feel about these ones so far, but hopefully this push for the box office, they can renew the rights. We don't know where that's at right now, though. It's
Right.
up in the air. It's up in the air.
They
That's all we know.
yeah, so they took a gamble basically.
Yep.
And
Because they hate, like we saw it in Final Wars, they hate that Godzilla in 98. They hate it.
right.
They hate it.
And that's why I think hopefully Hollywood has learned its lesson.
And that's why it took so long to get them to get rights in the first place.
right.
So it was like, okay, but you're on thin ice, motherfuckers.
Right. But with this being a monster hit, hopefully the MonsterVerse will. I mean,
Damn.
what else could we see from the MonsterVerse as far as other? Are there any other monsters that we can see, or is this pretty much it?
There's some contenders that you could put in, that you could, because I'm gonna be the controversial guy and I'm gonna sneak it in right now. You know my catchphrase. I thought this movie was average, middle of the road, basic
Milquetoast.
blockbuster bullshit. I really thought it was average, middle of the road.
On your first viewing, right?
On my first viewing. On my second viewing, I thought it was even more average, middle of the road,
Really?
garbage.
So what changed?
The third viewing, I watched my grandmother watch it. She enjoyed it. And I said, okay, it's still average, middle of the road. That will never change for me. What I will say is people should go see this because they need to support these films, because if you want to see Toho renew anything whatsoever, they need to see some profit. At the end of the day, it's a business. They need to see some profit, and they need to see some respect toward their IP, because they're not screwing around with this. Like I said, with the Ronald Emmerich Godzilla, they hated it. And the reason why they hated it is because it was disrespectful to them.
Yep.
Not only that, it didn't profit very well. For the budget that it had, it didn't do very well. It didn't do Independence Day numbers. And that's what they wanted. That's why they gave him the IP. They're like, oh shit, he just did Independence Day and that blew up. Not knowing that, not for nothing, a good portion of that was Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith. So you didn't have that in Godzilla. You had Fierce Bueller in Godzilla. The point of the matter is they don't like that movie.
Yep.
What we're hearing is they respect these movies a little bit more, but the full-blown thing is, what we know is they're waiting to see how the success is in this box, because no one was buying this shit here in the States. Godzilla did okay, and King of Monsters, and this was before the COVID timeline, so you couldn't blame COVID. King of Monsters did not do well at all. It's not doing these numbers, and this is in the COVID timeline. So maybe there's hope. All I'm saying is maybe there's hope here. What I'm saying is I don't see what Kuya and everybody else is seeing, what 42 million people are seeing. I don't get it, because like I said, I think this is an average, middle of the road for a Godzilla versus Kong movie. I think this is average at best. I still think, in my ideal, and it's like I said earlier, it's my opinion, I think the first Godzilla movie with Gareth Edwards directed is the best one. That is the best one. And it will not be beaten in America. I'm not going to get into the Japanese ones, because the Japanese movies smoke all of these motherfuckers. I'm sorry.
Easily.
Even the worst Japanese movies smoke the best American movie here. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. That's just facts, as you kids like to say, keeping it 100. So, but we're talking about the American movies, and as far as I'm concerned, this is second best. And Jester and I talked about it on the side at work. I'm not gonna speak for him, but I'm pretty sure he said the same thing. He said the first one's still the best one, which is the truth. But this one is way better than King of Monsters, and I'll concede to that. This one is way better than King of Monsters because it doesn't focus so much on the garbage human characters that we don't care about. They still do it. They still do it, and it needs to
100%.
stop. But they don't do it because Godzilla King of Monsters is 2 hours and 12 minutes. This is an hour and 53. So they don't have the time to fuck around and do well, we're gonna tell a story about no, they've rushed it. So some may think that's bad, some may think that's good, but yes, there was less human characters here that we had to deal with, but still, there's still some things that need to be if Toho grants them if we get our way, if Toho grants them an extension, they need to put some serious critical, not interference, but they need to put some real restrictions on, okay, you guys need to do a little less of this and do a little bit more of this. You need to respect the IP a little bit more because, yes, this one respects the lineage of the Toho Godzilla, and I don't want to keep dragging this out, but it doesn't go far enough. Because at the end of the day, it can be argued this isn't a Godzilla movie versus Kong. This is just a Kong film. Especially when you get to the end, and I'm not going to spoil it, but when we get to that critical end, Godzilla kind of falls the fuck back.
Yeah.
Whether he likes it or not, he falls the fuck back, and no one can argue that. Watch the movie. You'll see it for yourself, whether on the big screen or the small screen. This is Kong's movie. I'm sorry, but that's the fact.
Yeah. He was the Batman in this BVS version of.
Kind of was. Even though they tried to trick you with him giving them the Superman treat. No. So that's what gets on my nerves. They do these little bait and switches, and the reveal, and I'm not going to spoil it, but everybody knows what the reveal is because they revealed it with the fucking toys. So it's their own goddamn fault if you know what you know. However, the big reveal, I'm sorry, it was fucking lame. The big reveal was fucking lame. The character that set it up was awesome. I love that actor.
Yeah.
But the execution of the big reveal, we all know what it is. You fuckers ruined it 3 months before this movie came out, you rotten bastards. However, we won't get into that. We'll just play key dumb. But the big reveal was fucking trash. And they knew it was trash because in the movie they gloss over and get straight to the fucking point.
Yep.
That's what agitates me about this film, and I'll leave it at that. Like I said, but I'm in the minority because 42 million and it's climbing. I mean, it is climbing up and up and up because especially with these people are going there to see this movie. They didn't do it in it. They didn't do it with Wonder Woman 84. Not like they're doing it with this movie. It is climbing up and up and up, and the theaters are jerking off. They're, oh shit. People are saying this is the savior of the movie theater industry.
Yep.
Because the numbers are climbing up like COVID.
I think when you look at,
I'm in the minority. So I'm done.
Yeah, I think also when you look at where we're at right now with vaccine distribution and a lot more people being vaccinated, a lot more people are confident and comfortable, not just to go to a movie theater, but to travel and to do all these things. So that could be part of it. And also perhaps the private watch parties are also catching on because now people are realizing, hey, we don't have to watch it in a movie theater with strangers, that we don't know. We could rent out a movie theater on our own and still enjoy it. So I think that has a lot to play with it as well. And I think people are also just ready to especially for those who haven't seen a movie in a movie theater in over a year now. They're just like, I'm done. I want to see a movie in a movie theater. You know, I want to get out. So, which is good, right? Which is good. So hopefully, it seems like those different factors are coming into play, and people just want to escape. So this is good. This is good. Also, yeah. So with Falcon, with Godzilla and Kong, as far as that reveal, being spoiled by the toys, this is nothing new, of course, because this happens with every major blockbuster with any product tie-in or toys and merchandise. And that's why when you look at what Jon Favreau and company did with The Mandalorian, and you think that Disney would be like, wouldn't budge and be like, no, we want Baby Yoda toys out for Christmas 2019. But you know, they actually backed off and they said, yeah, we will not make any toys, any merchandise whatsoever until the debut of Baby Yoda. We didn't get any Baby Yoda toys whatsoever until what? That was like spring of 2020. So for them to miss out a big opportunity for Christmas 2019 by not having any Baby Yoda toys for Christmas under the tree, like, they knew it was a big gamble, but it still paid off because now Baby Yoda merchandise everywhere, but you know, they're also flying off the shelves. So, but yeah, unfortunately, that's the thing. Lego sets are always a big culprit in spoiling movies. Marvel, like when there's a Marvel movie, they always have at least one Lego set. And sometimes they're not always accurate to the movie. So when you look at the Lego set before like a trailer or whatever, and you see the Lego set when they leak online or they're dropped in stores ahead, and you're looking at like, what? This doesn't happen in the movie, or you know, it's just interesting. Of course, it's their marketing thing. But yeah. So now moving on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. My goodness. Episode 1 was cool. That was alright. It was alright. Episode 2, holy shit. They brought it with episode 2. Because we got the episode 2 actually got me laughing out loud several times. And it just kept me entertained. And you gotta love Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. The chemistry, of course, is on point. And the fact that the writing is very well done. You know, unlike, it's a nice breath of fresh air because, of course, WandaVision was all like, ooh, what's happening here? There's clues here and there. Is that Mephisto? Is this Mephisto? You know,
Hey,
there's a lot of
it could still be Mephisto, Mike. I mean,
Right.
you never know. See?
Yeah. The power broker is Mephisto. So episode 2, The Star Spangled Man, it kicks right off and we're introduced because episode 1, it ends on a cliffhanger, of course, and we see the new Captain America. America needs a hero, needs another Captain America. And we get John Walker, aka
U.S. agent.
Carl Friedrichsen from Up. There's a lot of those memes where his chin, John Walker's chin, matches exactly to Carl from the Disney Pixar film Up. It's hilarious. It is absolutely, the memes are just great. So yeah, of course, they're like great value brand Captain America. Wish, when you order Captain America from Wish, or my favorite one is Steve Rogers Captain America is Coca-Cola, and then John Walker Captain America is your Sam's Cola Walmart brand, or like,
or the new Coke, the one that everybody hates.
Yeah, like what is this shit? None of that shit. None of that shit. Hold on, I'm accidentally playing the episode. I don't want to play the episode. So episode 2, it kicks right off, and we're introduced to John Walker, the new Captain America, and they introduce him to us, the audience, and we get to know him and where he's from and how is he like is he like a super soldier? Not really. He's just a very gifted athlete, and he's like, and I'm trying to think of the timeline when Sam Wilson gave up the shield. How soon did they had probably had John Walker like within a day or two, They're like,
Right.
here's a shield.
John Walker was probably in the audience when
Yeah,
Sam was sick.
right. And then as soon as they were over, like, here you go, son. Start practicing it. Start practicing with it. Throw it like a frisbee. Because we saw like there's a Good Morning America segment, and he's being interviewed, and then there's footage of him like practicing with a shield. And when we were watching it, Julie was like, how is he doing that? How is this guy like doing that? I'm like, he's just practicing with it. He's like starting to, but yeah, it's really interesting because they humanize John Walker and they get him. They're trying to like, make the audience like him. And then we get that scene where Bucky and Sam finally meet up. And of course, Bucky's like pissed off because Sam should have given up the shield. Like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
And then they go on this mission where they're trying to find out the flag smashers, and they chase. There's this great action sequence with like two semi trucks, and then Bucky's running like super soldier speed, like Cap, like Steve Rogers Cap running in like a lot of the movies. And then he gets into the truck, and then he sees Carly, who's like smiling, and he's like, he thought like, oh, it's a hostage. And then before she kicks him. She's like enhanced. She's a super soldier. She kicks him into the other truck, and then you've got this fight scene with Flag Smashers versus Bucky and Falcon. And then before you know it, Red Wing gets smashed by Carly. Right? She smashes it, and Bucky's like, I wanted to do that, like, because he gets so annoyed with Red Wing. And then before like a comic book, before you know it, there's the Captain America shield like flies through and bounces off one of the super soldiers or something. And then we see John Walker with Battlestar in a helicopter, like, here we come to save the day. So I'm like, wow, here we go. Like, but it was cool. I was loving it. And then when you see the parallel of the new Cap with his new like Bucky or new Falcon, and then you see Bucky and Falcon, like the legit guys, they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, and again, Coca-Cola and Sam's Cola, or Dr. Pepper and Dr. Thunder. So it's a really great episode, and I love the fact that we get and that we do meet Isaiah Bradley, right? Which is the first,
Carlumby,
yeah, the first essentially the first Captain America, the first super soldier, way before Steve Rogers. So I was hoping when
they kind of sort of retconned that here, because according to the story now, that he came after Steve Rogers.
After
Because like Hydra was trying to, or like the CIA was trying to test out, or like trying to get the formula, figure out the formula and all this stuff, right?
Right.
So they were testing it out on the super soldiers, and they tested it out on Isaiah and all that stuff.
Right. And then it seems like there was it was hinted that he already encountered Bucky years ago and fought with him or against him?
Against him
as the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and then it's like, the last time I remember, you didn't have your arm, and I was like, oh shit, like there you go.
Right.
Took out his arm. So
yeah.
Funny thing, because Isaiah Bradley is the Captain America, the nephew, the guy that was with Isaiah Bradley at the time.
Yes.
He just watch out. He might be a new character also called the Patriot.
Right. It seems like they are setting up the pieces for a young Avengers.
Yeah.
Getting it ready. Yeah. So that's really cool. I'm really appreciating that. And then really some powerful moments when Sam was telling Bucky, like, why didn't you tell me that there was a black superhero? Why is no one, like he's getting pissed off because this has been like kept under wraps and he was experimented on and he's just living, he's not even, the government didn't even take care of him, after all the sacrifices that he did. So it's, and then of course there's a really, talk about 2020, 2021 scene where they're arguing as they're walking on the street, and then before you know it, the cops pull in, the cops pull up, and then they get down, and they're telling Bucky like, hey sir, they're telling Sam like, hey, you got to keep it down or whatever, like calm down, and they're asking Bucky like, is this guy bothering you? And I'm like, holy shit. But I mean, that's great though. That's great because this is happening, as far as like we enjoy our entertainment. Like, it's great to see that it's paralleling. It's basically art, I guess. In this case, art is imitating life. This is real. This is happening. So you gotta put it on there. Why not? It's, we gotta be aware of it. So, and then they do get arrested, and then John Walker realizes like he's trying to figure out like, there was a great scene in the truck where at the beginning where they give them a ride, and then when Battlestar tells him like Bucky or something happens, and like Bucky's just like, I'm not doing this shit. Stop the truck. Like, I'm
because he's like, who are you supposed to be? And it's like, oh, I'm Battlestar.
Yeah.
Battlestar. Stop the car.
Yeah. Because it's like, I'm not doing this shit. And then I think is that when John Walker mentions like, hey, I need you guys to be like my sidekicks or something like that.
Yeah, like something like that. Like, you have to be like, and then Falcon was like, that's the difference between you and him. Like, and then he just walked away because he never, like, Captain or Steve never saw Bucky or Falcon as sidekicks or whatever it is. They're colleagues, right? They're partners.
Right.
So
but
that was kind of cool.
Yeah, John Walker like wanted them because like these guys fought alongside Steve Rogers, Captain America, but like they were not having it. Like, no, stop the truck, fuck you, we're done here. So that was great. And then and then the great scene with they were in jail, and then before they were released, John Walker was gonna get them out, and basically like uses like his influence as the new Captain America. But then they had to have a quick therapy session to release them, with Bucky's therapist. And it's a great scene because when they sit across from each other with the knees together and they're like, is that too close? Like, this is great. Like, I was laughing out loud. Really great chemistry, some really good dialogue. And what really got me is when Bucky opened up and told Sam, like, you gave up your shield. And he mentioned something like, if Steve was
wrong about you,
then he's wrong about me. And that when he said that he believed in me, that I was still good, because Bucky, of course, they're each struggling with their own demons. So that was really powerful. I'm really enjoying that we're exploring more of that, and Bucky, and like, and of course Sam as well. So Pinhead, any thoughts from episode 2?
Not really. I don't care about Fucky and Bucky, Samuel Wilson and his buddy.
Oh, come on. You said you enjoyed it.
It's a good episode. I actually, to be honest, I like the next episode a little bit better.
Okay. Episode 3.
More Carly. That's why he liked that episode.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's cute. I mean, what can you say? She's cute.
I won't go down that road. I won't go down.
He wanted to see those freckles again, man. That's what he wanted to do. Because like,
no, I just this episode was cool. I did like the social commentary. A lot of people were saying it was too woke.
Oh, I mean, God. Really?
When you it's too woke because it wasn't focusing on the Great White Hope, so it was too woke for you. I don't know where that comes from, because it actually is, like you said, it's talking about shit that's going on in our current time right now.
Right.
It is art imitating life, because this is what happens.
Right.
It also really, for all you idiots out there who are saying it's too woke, it also gets down into how far white privilege really goes, because the dichotomy of that whole situation changes when he misses his, because he is a convict. He now has to face and understand what Black people and minorities have to go through when you just miss that slight little appointment at your check-in. You're arrested. You're sent there, and Bucky had to understand and feel what that felt like. So the dichotomy changed really quick. So you really saw social commentary on all scales. So this nonsense where people are crying about it, and there's a lot of people crying about it.
Wow.
There's a lot of people crying about it. They're also saying that's the reason why the interest dropped in this episode to the third episode, because it was too woke.
Really? If this is too woke for them, well, y'all can cancel your subscription and stop watching.
Well, but that's the problem with that is you're not gonna do it.
Exactly.
I don't like to bring wrestling up every time, but it's very relevant because like Triple H once said, he made a promo where he even got me. He made me look critically inward, and this was years ago, but this made me think very differently. He said, because they were moving to the WWE network and they were canceling pay-per-views and they were changing things, and everybody was crying about, I'll quit, I'll cancel, I'll stop. And he said, you'll cry, you'll bitch, you'll moan, and you'll cry about canceling. And then he turned his head and then he goes, but you won't, will you? You don't have the guts to do it. And guess what? No one did. Same situation here. The only difference is Triple H had more balls than Disney does. He told you, you don't have the guts to do it, and you won't do it because this may piss you off, but when Black Widow comes out, because that beautiful white woman's out there, you'll rush to the theaters. You might even beat Godzilla. You'll rush to the theaters to see those white titties. You'll rush to the theaters to see these milquetoast motherfuckers. You won't cry woke there, because I'm sure there'll be woke stuff there, but you won't cry because, once again, it's a double standard. So long story short, we went on. I like this episode because of these reasons, but other than that, I don't care because we had a good fight scene. Kuya tried to call me out. Freckles was there. We got to see her. That's fine. And she's a badass.
She's a badass. She's a badass.
She went into that Ronda Rousey don't fuck with me mode. And it wasn't just a serum. That was her attitude. Like,
right.
Because as we go down this episode and as we learn more in the third episode, she's gone through some shit.
Yep.
So she's not to be fucked with because she's tough, because she has to be tough, because the world, what she's gone through in her life has forced her to be this. Even before the serum was injected into her, like these events that happened in her life has forced her to be this badass bitch. So I like that too, because she's a badass motherfucker. Like seriously, like Stone Cold Steve Austin badass. So I like that.
Right.
Other than that's where, like I said, the next episode is where I'm like,
right. But see, that's the thing. I do appreciate your comments about it, because that's the word I was looking for, the social commentary aspect on the show. Because we did, I think we did mention before, like when WandaVision was ending, we did mention before the Falcon and the Winter Soldier premiere that I personally wanted to see them go there where the show does deal with race.
yes.
Because yes, it's, we want to be entertained, but I prefer also being entertained, but also being asked questions. I like to think about what I see. Yes, there's times when I just want to shut off my brain and just watch and enjoy a slugfest like Godzilla versus Kong.
Exactly.
But, though I haven't seen it yet, but like, and that's why I enjoy Zack Snyder's films, particularly Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League. It asks a lot of questions where, yes, I'm getting all my superheroes. I'm getting Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. I'm getting Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. But there's all, like in Man of Steel, there's so much social commentary there about, Krypton being this culture and race where they didn't even have natural births. They grew babies, and every child was basically selected, and they had their own destiny predetermined, whether they'd be a worker, a warrior, a scientist. You didn't have a choice. But then Jor-El and Lara had and it's beautiful. Like until now, when I think about it, like it is pretty brilliant. Like Jor-El and Lara conceived Kal-El naturally so that he could be the first natural birth in centuries, and that he could forge his own destiny, which he does in Man of Steel. And I think it's beautiful. Like, my God, I'm like, wow, I'm not just seeing a Superman. Like, this is deep stuff. And then, of course, there's those people out there like, Zack Snyder thinks he's deep, but his films are not that. I'm like, y'all are not really watching and observing and reading between the lines of things that are going on here. There's so much.
That's the Robo Crybabies.
Yeah,
that's the Robo, and the same Robo. And not to interrupt you, and I want to make this perfectly clear, not to sound like a negative Nancy. Falcon and the Winter Soldier to me is by far, as far as storytelling, is the most important thing Marvel has done in a long time, because, like you said, the same Robo Crybabies that were crying about that same situation and all of that in Man of Steel. Are the same Robo Crybabies that are crying about this episode being too woke.
Right.
Shut the fuck up and sit down.
They're saying like
either enjoy it or get the fuck out. I'm tired of this. Either enjoy it or don't watch it. Just get the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm really glad that Disney is going there, because
so am I.
We need to have these conversations.
I really hope that they go there like enough, like so, or
right,
or like
exactly.
Like all the way or whatever.
Keep going there.
Not this little like touchy like feely like
right.
Like I want them to go deep in like the reasoning why the U.S. government didn't think Sam was fit to be Captain America.
Right.
Like they're kind of sort of dancing around it. Because like, whatever. But I want them to say it. I want them to fucking say it, like, because
Right. Yeah, because I mean, it's hinted at that Sam also felt like he wasn't fit for it, and that's why I want. Yeah, let's keep going there, because let's not ignore it. I mean, these things are happening right now, so let's go there. By all means, that's what I want more of, especially in something that has this much attention and this many eyeballs watching. Like, please ask questions. Like,
now that we're, not to interrupt, but now that we're talking about it, I take it back. I think this episode I like this one more than the third episode. Yeah, I do, because it's actually a very important episode that should be pushed out there, compared to episode 3, which we'll get into with the mortgage and stockbroker and the fucking Captain Nemo and all. So yeah, I actually do like episode 2 better. So I take the back. I like episode 2 better than 3.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if I missed anything else big in the second episode.
Not really, other than the fact that we're gonna, like, the big reveal was that we're gonna go.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Captain Nemo.
Right. They needed to go to Zemo so they could track down Carly and her crew of ragtag misfits, the Flag Smashers. So yeah, we start off, and then they, Sam and Bucky. So episode 3 is titled Power Broker, and this is the longest episode. So episode 1 was 49 minutes, of course, with like 7 minutes of credits. Episode 2, 49 minutes. And then episode 3, we got 53 minutes. So almost an hour. and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the third episode as well.
I
Not
did too.
not as powerful as the second episode, but so much good stuff in the third episode. Power Broker, Sam and Bucky go to a criminal safe haven to find information about the super soldier serum. So of course they break out. Sam is not for it because of course Zemo has been able to control Bucky as the Winter Soldier in the past with those trigger words, those keywords, and he tries it. He wanted to see if it would work, but of course Bucky's like, nope, that's not gonna work. I'm done. So and then when Bucky, after the conversation that Bucky has with Zemo, Bucky talks to Sam, and I think this is in Germany, right? And then when as Bucky is talking to Sam about it, as he's explaining like what would happen, and like there'd have to be a fight that would break out, and then in any fight there'd have to be at least 4 guards responding, and if the fight escalates and becomes a bigger brawl, then there's going to be more guards, and the attention is they're all distracted, the attention is diverted, and then as that's happening, Zemo is actually already escaping. and then as Sam says, no, I'm not gonna go with this, Zemo actually arrives, and he's like, what the hell? Like, I thought it was great. The chemistry is fantastic, and Zemo basically being a Bruce Wayne, but a bad guy version of Bruce Wayne, was really cool. And then he's actually had, like he reveals that he's actually had money. He was just in jail, and he was a baron. So like, oh, there it is. We just need to hear Baron Zemo in one sentence, and there we go. So
and it's kind of funny, like how they or how Zemo explained, like, oh, they, just because my country floated in the air and they, and the city it got destroyed, the bits and pieces got scattered and got taken away by all of these countries. So like pretty much like the eastern bloc of Europe was actually Sokovia. It was kind of funny, right? Because like they were just trying to say, like, okay, because they're in Latvia at this time.
Yeah, speaking of which, Latvia, we just don't see it once. We see it like a second time. Latvia is, for those that may not know, the home country of one Dr. Victor Von Doom. I was like, holy shit. I was like, Latvia.
No. Latvia.
Oh, Latveria.
Latveria.
Oh, God, I got confused. So who lives in it? Does anyone else live in Latvia, or is just
no. It's so different. Yeah.
I'm like, shit, that was close. I'm like, for a second there. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff. They head to Madripoor, which is like somewhere off the coast, or like in Indonesia, or
yep, that's an island off of Indonesia. Used to be run by pirates, like no extradition.
Yes.
All criminals, all that shit.
Yeah.
It's basically Captain America lore. Logan, Wolverine, and Captain America used to hang out around Madripoor back in the old days to look for Nazis and fight them and all that shit. So. Right,
and as we head in there, there's a rap song, and I start hearing familiar words, and I was like, "Is that Tagalog?" So I actually rewinded it, and even got the song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Shanty Dope it's a song by Shanty Dope called Amats.
Yeah. So in that rap song, there's actual Tagalog words in there. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. So we head into Madripoor, and they're playing characters. Bucky is playing the Winter Soldier, of course. And then Sam is playing Smiling Tiger.
Yeah.
and then of course his phone rings on vibrate, because vibrate now, of course, everyone can still hear your phone ring. I can just put it on silent, like, holy shit, and then he has to answer and put it on speaker, and then he's talking to his sister. His sister's talking to him, and he's playing it cool until she mentions like Sam, and the person that they're meeting with, and then before that there's a fight that breaks out, and Baron Zemo makes it look like Bucky, Winter Soldier, is still like Winter Soldier. He just speaks to him in in Russian or German, or was it Russian? Where he says like destroy or like, and then he just goes like Winter Soldier mode, and
Mhm.
Zemo tells Sam like it wasn't hard for him to fall back to his old ways, and of course
Did
Sam
did, did Zemo in Civil War sound like this guy, or like how Zemo sounds like right now,
yeah,
or was there like a thicker accent?
there could have been a thicker accent, but it seemed very similar. It seemed the same to me at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
Great. I was just wondering. I didn't realize he had like the little soft voice or.
Right. Yeah. I think he did.
Yeah.
And then by the way, he earlier in the episode, he has a bunch of cars that he has like in his big garage. He grabs a purple mask. And we're like, there it is. Like finally, what we should have gotten in Civil War. But hey, they're making up for it. So yeah, when they meet.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I missed the part. Like I just saw the part where the mask was on. I missed where he got it.
Yeah, he saw it in one of the cars that he was looking at. He grabs the mask.
And then he put it in a bag.
Yeah.
I turned around for a second and I missed that.
So I was thinking that he grabbed the mask because he would be wearing it because he's now a wanted man. He escaped prison. He'd be wearing it so, like he wouldn't be recognizable on surveillance cameras. But it's still used well. He doesn't use it all the time, but he uses it towards the end of the episode, which I thought was a really cool scene. And then of course, things go south. They get out of that meeting. The lady that they were talking to, I forgot her name, she gets shot. And then I thought she was the power broker, but she's not the power broker. She's just the right-hand man of the power broker.
Selby.
Yeah. So the power broker, immediately as they leave that place, the power broker sends bounty text, kind of like John Wick style. It seemed like it was like 1 million or 1 billion Bitcoin. That was the reward.
And something like that. It's like a million Bitcoin or something.
Yeah,
like that.
for the three of them.
Yeah.
Like, alive, or to bring them in. So they're escaping, and then before you know it, it seems like they have a guardian angel, which is like a sharpshooter, and it's actually Agent 13 from Civil War. Forgot her name.
Sharon
Carter.
That's right. So who Steve Rogers, she in the MCU continuity, or is it also in the comics? Is it the same? She's also the niece of no, it's different in the comics.
Agent 13 is different, yeah.
Okay. So in MCU continuity, she is the niece of Sharon Carter, who in Civil War, if you all remember, she makes out with Steve Rogers.
Woo.
She was introduced in the Winter Soldier as the nurse living next door. And then of course, when something happens, she tells Steve Rogers that I've been assigned to protect you. And he's like, by who? By him. And that was Nick Fury as he lay dying, quote unquote. Of course, he didn't die. But yeah, and it was like, why would Nick Fury hire someone to protect a super soldier like Captain America of all people? It's not like he's protecting like someone without powers or abilities. Like, come on. I just thought it was interesting. But anyway, she's basically saves them and takes them to her hideout spot, and she seems to be doing well, despite the fact that she can't return home to the U.S. She can't call her family because ever since the events of Civil War, she has been on the run, basically. And the reason why she's been in Madripoor, or in the north part of town, or what, the island where it's safer. I forgot the term that they called it, but
hillside, or it's something about hill.
Yeah, something like that.
Up north or something.
Yeah, so it's not exactly Madripoor, but it's a safer area, so it's more civil over there. But there's still no extradition, so she can like hide out there. She told them like, you can hide out in my place. So it seems kind of messed up that Steve Rogers and everyone else who asked for her help in Civil War never kind of helped her out, like get back home or clear her name. But then again, yeah, when you think about it, Steve Rogers and Team Cap was on the run ever since the events of Civil War until Infinity War, they were still on the run. It's only until like, isn't it? Yeah, or until that part of Civil War where they finally reunited because of the threat that was the basically the alien invasion of Thanos and company. So, but still interesting because I mean, y'all forgetting the people that helped you out. Like, come on, like, you know. But then Sam does promise her, like, hey, you help us, let me help you get back. But she doesn't want it. She doesn't want to risk it. You know, she doesn't want to because something could go wrong. But he still tells her like, hey, you help us out. I'll give you my word. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna help you out. So they go to the docks, and they're supposed to meet. I guess the other scientist that's developing the super soldier serum.
Mhm.
And I forgot
Albert something.
Yeah. So they finally talk to him, and then Sharon Carter is basically out in the docks. She's on her own fighting off these guys, and I'm like, for the whole episode, I'm like, could Bucky like go out, step out for a bit and help her? And she's like making quick work of these guys, but as she's going,
did you see all the wonderful, beautiful Filipino martial arts that she's using?
yeah, very impressive. And as she's taking down like three guys against her, like, man, she's using that baton, and she's using, like, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, it would have been cool if Winter Soldier helped her out, but this was actually really cool too. But for a second, like, it got me thinking, like, you got a super soldier there with a robot, with a cyborg arm who could help you out at least a little bit. You know, let Sam take care of Zemo, because they just can't leave him. But as the guy is the scientist is explaining, there was he had the super soldier serum there, and they had Carly stole the super soldier serum. At first they thought it was vaccines.
The one of the things that struck me with what the scientist was saying was like he was kind of like making fun of the one that the original super serum where, you know, Captain America had gotten big, right?
Right.
Like all muscular.
Right.
He mentioned, like, you know, with this serum, you can have the same body type and you'd still be a super soldier.
Right.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, man. Like, you know,
yeah, without basically changing your anatomy, like physically, you already have, you know, it kind of reminds me of like Superman. Like, yeah, Superman has like obviously a ripped body, but he's not like a hulking figure. He has that strength because he is Superman. But yeah, I like that concept as well. And he does mention, like, yeah, Dr. Erskine, who developed the original super soldier serum. Mine is simple. Mine is more like, he basically broke it down to its core essence. And yeah, it doesn't have there's no machines, no solar rays to like, or like Vita rays that expose, you know, it's way more simple than Erskine used it for, or the way Erskine designed it for way back in the events of Captain America, the First Adventure. By the way, we also get scenes of Carly visiting, is it her mom or her grandma? Who's
it was like one of the it's actually one of the survivors, one of the people that helped them out when they were younger.
Oh, okay,
like during the blip.
Yeah. And we also get a great scene with John Walker and Captain America and Battlestar walking into the last hideout that they were at, and they were looking for it. And the guy's playing dumb, like, oh, she hasn't been here. I don't know what you're talking about. And then John Walker gets pissed off, and he's like, do you know who I am? And then the guy just straight up spits in his face, and he gets pissed off, and he's like, I don't care. And it's like clear big difference here. Steve Rogers would never have to say, do you know who I am? And like yell like a little baby. Like, oh
yeah, he earned respect. This little douchebag commands respect. There's a difference.
Exactly. Also reminds me of Game of Thrones. Also reminds me of Game of Thrones with Joffrey and then his grandfather, when Joffrey yelled like, "I am king," and then Tywin Lannister just straight like, and of course, great actor, and the performance and the line delivery is like, "Any king who yells "I am king" is not king." And I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "That's it. That's all you need. That's it. That's the episode. That's the
Sit your ass down. Right? Sit your ass down.
Exactly. That's the text." Like, it was, man. I mean, for all that it's worth, Game of Thrones, still some great moments there and some great episodes, and So anyway,
it's still a great series, no matter what anybody says.
And it got
it ended as dog shit, but it doesn't take away the credibility of the significance of the impact the show made.
Right, the cultural impact and the fact that it got.
Because you guys keep talking about it, so it must not be too bad.
Right, it got people talking. It got people talking every week, every season premiere, every season finale. In very big moments, Red Wedding, Jon Snow, and all that stuff. So nothing, Jon Snow. So yeah, but yeah, and then we get that great scene again with so Carly, they leave this facility, and by the way, outside that building, there's a big red and black there's like a big X on it, and people were like, "X-Men confirmed." I'm like, "Oh, is that the X Mansion?" I'm like, "Wow, like really?" After people saw a number 4 on the whiteboard in WandaVision, like, Fantastic Four.
There's an M on there's an M on Don Cheadle's forehead, so it's Mephisto.
Yeah, it's Mephisto.
You don't know that? It could be X Factor,
That's right. So Don Cheadle's forehead is Mephisto, but I think so.
Confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed. If I'm not mistaken, I think I saw the credits for Don Cheadle, and it's just that one episode. And I'm like, if that's all we're gonna get from Don Cheadle for Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's pretty weak, because he didn't even have a line.
I know.
And I'm like, this is Don Cheadle, yo. Like, this is War Machine. This is Rhodey. Like, but hey, who knows? We'll see. We'll see what
happens. They didn't want to pay that Don Cheadle money. That's why.
I guess. I mean, wow.
Cheap bastards.
Can you imagine? As I really like Terrence Howard. I really liked him, and
so did I.
Like when they were having that scene with Tony Stark in that private plane, where the flight attendant there's like a stripper pole, and they're all dancing, taking off their tops, and then he's like drinking. He's like, at first he's like, "No, I'm not having any drinks," and later on he's drinking, and he's telling Tony, like, "Tony," that was great.
Terrence Howard was the shit. I loved him, man.
Yeah, and that's why, and I like Don Cheadle too, but I can only imagine had Terrence Howard just buckled up and just be patient. Don't ask for more money right now, because I mean, you're still gonna get more money anyway with all the appearances. Like, look at how much Don Cheadle is. So he was in Iron Man 2.
He wasn't as smart as Robert Downey Jr. Because Robert Downey Jr. said, "Hey, you know what? Give me a flat fee and give me a percentage of this movie."
Right.
And future movies.
But so, granted, I don't know if Terrence Howard could have also done that same deal, because he's not the star. But granted, like when you look at Don Cheadle's appearances, he appeared in Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Captain America: Civil War, and then you got Avengers: Infinity War. That's 5 movies, and then Avengers: Endgame, 6 movies so far. I have a feeling like I'm missing maybe a few things, but
he was on 3. One, Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, right?
Right. Well, yeah. As far as Don Cheadle.
Oh, Don Cheadle.
So if you can imagine, had Terrence Howard stayed on, he would have had 6 more movie appearances, and then on the varying level of how involved he was, the character was in the story, you're still getting a paycheck in each of those appearances. Like, holy shit.
Not only that, could you imagine if he just had a little bit more patience and restraint, the leverage he could have had? Because if it all would have fall into place, he would have come off of an Oscar nomination.
Right.
Yep.
He would have been in this film. Then down the line, he would have done Empire. Do you know what leverage he would have had being on Empire, the hit show, and him being
Rhodey. Yeah.
Rhodey.
Yeah, Rhodey. Excuse me. Thank you, Rhodey. He would have had a lot more to Marvel, Disney going, yeah, you're going to pay me more. I can just go to Empire and say, fuck all y'all. And and he's a couple movies in now. On top of that, Disney would have had to pay that cheddar. They would have had no choice in recasting that late in the game. Because in Iron Man, he were in Iron Man 1, tally ho for you.
Right.
But if you would have had patience and done this whole, Marvel Disney would have had to bend the knee, as us say in Game of Thrones, to you. The roles would have been reversed, but that's what we call patience.
Right. And then now we're getting an Armor Wars series, which Rhodey will play a big part in. Like, can you imagine, just, hey,
patience.
Showing up. Hey, I'm here. I'm playing. I'm going to play with you guys. Let's do this. As Anthony Mackie would say every time he nails a scene, cut the check, And then now you're getting a series, like, holy shit, man. Can you imagine? And then, like Anthony Mackie, there was a great thing where he was messing around with Tom Holland at one of the Comic-Cons. And Tom Holland, they were like messing around with each other in front of the audience, in front of the fans. And Tom Holland says, well, there's never going to be a Falcon movie. And everyone was like, oh. And I'm like, hey, yeah, we haven't gotten a Falcon movie, but a Falcon series, that's dare I say, that's even better than a movie. Because a movie, technically, I mean, granted, in the Marvel way of doing things, it's all interconnected with several appearances, different arcs, but all connected. But a movie is 2 hours, where in a series can be like this series, we're getting at least 6 hours, 6 episodes, where you get to spend more time on these characters, and the audience and the fans just eat it up. We enjoy it. We now live in the age of streaming where when we binge a show, we end up enjoying a show more, a 4 hours, a 10-hour series over a 2-hour movie, because you spend more time with the character. They get to develop the character really well. Like Wanda, for me personally, with WandaVision, I now enjoy and appreciate Vision and Wanda way more than I did before, because now I've really gotten to know those characters much more than the previous movies that we saw of them. Because I think there was a combined screen time of Wanda in the previous films before WandaVision. Her total screen time from Avengers: Age of Ultron, Civil War, Infinity War, and then Endgame, I think is 25 minutes. That's not a lot. It's not even.
Yeah, most of the time was her.
Yeah, and
doing this shit,
bending her back.
Yeah, bending her back and moving her fingers like she's playing fiddly dee. Like, we get it.
Right. Yeah. But with WandaVision, my God, you get so much time with a character, and you get to appreciate and now really see where the character is coming, and even Vision as well. I was like, wow, the fact that they're able to expand on the characters apart from the movies, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, we go back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We get things happen. There's a guy that fires a rocket launcher into the trailer, or the cargo trailer compartment that's set up like a lab. It blows up. They get out of there, and it seems like Zemo is escaping, and he's basically got away. But then he's actually there to back him up, because Sharon Carter makes her way in to kind of hide out and meet up with the guys. And then when they get out, there's a firefight. They're shooting their way out, but they're outnumbered. And then you see Zemo on top of one of the higher points of the cargo trailers there, and he has his gun and he starts shooting. He shoots at a gas line or something, which blows up some of the guys away. And he's wearing his mask. He puts on his mask before this, so that was really cool. and then I like the fact that he can actually fight, because in Civil War, his whole battle was more like a battle of wits to get and his whole planning was to get the Avengers to fight with each other and basically like disassemble, which he successfully did, in Civil War. But here you're seeing Zemo. By the way, he even has some awesome dance moves in the club scene earlier in the episode where they're all dancing. I thought it was pretty funny, and like I never thought we'd ever see Baron Zemo dancing, but here we are. But yeah, he finds a car so that they can all get away. But I thought Sharon was gonna go with them, so I was hoping that she'd be part of the team now, but she doesn't want. She has to stay until she wants Sam to clear her name first before she even tries to go back to the States. So, which she's gonna do, and then later on in the plane, in Zemo's private plane, as they're flying, Sam realizes like he feels guilty that Sharon has never been able to go back home and see her family and not even call her family after the events of Civil War, after helping them out. So, but yeah, and then we end. I'm trying to remember how we
remember that scene. You're not gonna pull your seat up, right?
Yes, that's right.
And you're like, nope.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an homage to Civil War.
That's right. That's right. And then is that where it ends? I'm trying to remember if that's
No, it ends where they meet the chick from Wakanda. Like
That's right. Yeah. So they're back in
Latvia.
Latvia.
Yeah, in Latvia, and then
The Omoyo beans.
yeah, the Komoyo beads. Bucky tells him, "Hey, I'm just gonna go for a quick walk," and he picks something up, and then it's beeping, and then I'm like, "Is that a Komoyo bead?" And then he picks another one up, and he's like, he goes back into an alley, and he's like, "Hey, you dropped something," and I'm thinking like, "Are we gonna see Black Panther?
No.
Are we gonna see?" Well, it could have been Black Panther in a mask. We wouldn't know. Or
Yeah.
but then that'd be. I wanted to see either Shuri or what's the other
The chief of security.
Yeah.
No, they can't afford her yet. So she's only for movies.
Right. What's her name? Goodness gracious. Come on.
Is it Okoye?
Okoye. That's right. I was hoping that either Shuri or Okoye. But we get we get to see Ayo, who we also saw in Civil War. Was first introduced.
That's the one that confronted
Black Widow.
Black Widow was like,
she
like,
told
move
Black Widow,
move or be moved or something.
or
like
you
that.
will be moved. Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which is still pretty cool. Because I read somewhere like someone said like I freaked out, and I'm like, okay, and I was thinking like if you're gonna freak out, that better be Steve Rogers, old Steve Rogers at the end, or something to that level. But I'm like, it's cool, but I'm not gonna freak out over that. I mean, it's not, it's not Black Panther, or it's not, so like someone huge like Shuri, but that's still cool. So now we're seeing a connection because now Ayo from Wakanda wants Zemo because Zemo is responsible for the death of King T'Chaka. The Winter Soldier, Bucky, was framed, of course, in Civil War, but he didn't do it. It was Zemo who did it. So now they want Zemo. But now Bucky's going to have a tough time because Bucky's working with Zemo and they have a deal of sorts. So who knows what's going to happen? It's going to get interesting. So we shall see. So yeah, that's episode 3 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we have 3 more episodes, and we're done with Falcon and the Winter Soldier season 1.
That funny part with at the bar when the bartender was trying to test Sam with the drink, the usual.
Yeah.
Gave him the snake bile or whatever.
Right.
Like, and he just drank it like whatever. And he's like,
Well, he looks at it. That's what made it worse.
Like,
He looked at it. Should have just like buck up and drink up. Like
no, but like when he drank it, even Bucky was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. lots of good moments, but the second episode I think was the one that
See,
got me.
this is the conundrum that I have with Marvel, right? Certain movies, certain characters, those kind of juvenile type of jokes, those kind of things work for me, and I laugh, I whatever, I giggle, all that stuff, right? But like I said, like the issue that I had with Ragnarok was the same, like like juvenile jokes and everything like that. Like for me, it wasn't. It was it didn't get it didn't hit it properly. So I was just like, ah, man, like every time I see myself, laughing at or hear myself or feel myself laughing at a Marvel joke, I'm just like, God damn it, I'm a hypocrite. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I hate it. I hate it. But it was funny. But yeah, like I mean, there's what? How many more episodes of this one? Three more
Three.
episodes, right?
Three more episodes because there's 6 episodes total.
So I'm assuming they're gonna be like an hour each, like 50 something, right?
Approximately, yeah.
Yeah. Carly was a badass in this episode. She was brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah, she blew up that building and burned the
that's right. That's
hostages
right.
down, right?
Yeah, the guy that was with her was like, there was people in there, and we just saw them too.
Yeah.
And she was like, they have to get. This is the only way we'll get through.
So, yeah.
Like, wow,
That
that
was-
was cold. That was cold. To just murder those people and blow them up like that. Like, wow.
So like I hopefully I don't know if this is what's gonna happen with the show. Hopefully, like they have they have a conversation or whatever, and then Carly, for whatever the hell reason, gives Sam or injects Sam with the super serum. So now he becomes worthy of becoming Captain America, so to speak, right?
That's crazy. I was thinking that exact same scenario.
And then because like in all fairness, Mike, you said that John Walker wasn't a super soldier. Chances are he was or he is.
Mm-hmm.
That he got a super serum from somewhere. You know what I mean? The way he was moving, I was just like, I don't know, man.
That's what some people have been saying. But then when
Yeah.
you look at the second episode, it seemed like he was also struggling to get up on that truck when he was hanging on it. Because
Well, I mean, it's probably because he's just new being Captain America, or whatever. Or it's just like
maybe, yeah, maybe.
Playing possum.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what I was just thinking. I don't know. And again, I'm not when it comes to the MCU. Your guesses are as good as mine in this sense, because I'm just like,
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
all of us were wrong about Mephisto, for Christ's sake.
Right. But here's my question: do you want to see Sam Wilson get the super soldier serum? I prefer that he.
No,
he
I
doesn't
want.
need it.
No, I know he doesn't need it, but again,
Yeah.
like it's like a parting gift, so that there is gonna be a quote unquote black superhero. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
So I'm hoping that that's the case. Like it's a gift or a curse that he's willing to accept as as something, just because of the fact that like he wants to be responsible. Because like the promos show him and Bucky holding the shield back, right? Because they got the shield back.
Right.
So
But, yeah. Personally, for
you know.
me, yeah, I prefer that he doesn't get a super soldier serum because I already feel like just him going on this journey will make him worthy to be Captain America and earn the shield back without the super soldier serum. So that's just me personally.
Kind of cool though. I mean, like especially
Right,
with this new version of the serum, like it's not gonna change his physique or anything. It's just gonna be him, but he's gonna be more enhanced. So that would be kind of
Yeah,
nice.
that's how I was seeing. I get exactly where Mike's coming from, but I thought, as far as I see it, I figured it's like an extra reward for his loyalty more than anything.
Right.
It's like for defending, for defending justice, for taking care of the people who didn't have anything,
Yeah,
Right.
like the underdog.
So, yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, not for anything in regards to Set. That symbol that they have the
Yeah.
hand with the world on it.
Yeah.
that may look like a really awesome tattoo. Like, and I was just like, I was thinking to myself, should I get that kind of tattoo? Like, and I was like, nah, I'm not the MCU fuck. So I'm not gonna get that. It looks nice though. Like you
Just
see, like the thing, right?
just do
Or
some just do some
or that gorilla in Madripoor. Did you see the gorilla?
oh yeah, that was
The
cool.
neon gorilla.
I don't know about a tattoo though. Just do like washable paint and then just
Yeah,
do
there you
it
go.
on your
Watch
face right here. Do it right here.
No, I got one already. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know about a tattoo. I just do washable
No.
paint.
no tattoo.
Yeah. Alrighty. So that's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Next up, we got the debut, the premiere of the Amazon Prime original animated series Invincible, based on the comic books by Robert Kirkman, and I forgot the other co-creator's name. But so I listened to Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin's Fat Man Beyond, and they had Robert Kirkman as a guest on the show the week of about 2 weeks ago, the week of the premiere for Invincible, and he did mention that Robert Kirkman mentioned that they were gonna like The Boys on Amazon Prime, they were going to drop the first 3 episodes and then 1 episode every week. And another interesting bit is that he talked about how he was developing the comics, which is really fascinating. And then also Seth Rogen is also working on a live action film.
That kind of gave me like a half stiffy when I heard that in the podcast.
It did too, for me, until I started watching this. The first 3 episodes, I basically binged through them, and I was like, now I want more. Just give me everything because I can binge it. You know, it's like, and it's really good. The voice cast is amazing.
Yeah.
We get Mark Hamill in the first or second episode.
First episode.
And Seth Rogen also plays a character in
Alan, yeah.
Yeah, and this as well. So, but now that I'm seeing this as a series, I would prefer, because a live action film will be 2 hours, 2.5 maybe, but I doubt it. It might just be a 2-hour movie unless they're going to do several sequels. How do you fit in? So I would rather see a live action series and just put all the money, because Amazon has all the money anyway. Just give me a live action series.
There's a lot of things going on with the world of Invincible, so they can just add on or do a couple of things.
Right.
So,
but
maybe at the beginning it's gonna be like the coming of Omni-Man or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, man, I love the show. I really love the show. Like, it's
And just as a footnote, the creators are Robert Kirkman and Corey Walker.
Thank you. Yeah. So I mean, it's really cool. From the get-go, from that first episode, I'm like, I'm into it. This is basically essentially like at the beginning we get like a Justice League, and then Superman basically with a kid who's from another alien world, but it's what's his name? Not my temple. Oh my God, I'm blank. Commissioner Gordon and AKA J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, he's like taking over nerddom, huh?
He is.
J.K. Simmons.
He's in MCU, and he's in the MCU.
He's in DC,
and now he's Image.
And now he's oh my God, insane.
Hey,
So wait,
he's amazing talent.
So Invincible is Image? I thought it was Skybound.
No. It was Image first, and then it became Skybound.
Gotcha.
Skybound is Robert Kirkman's production company.
Okay. But yeah, first 3 episodes, I'm like, man, give me more. I love the music. The music that they choose and the animation, it's beautiful. The music is on point. There's even a song there that I think is now getting. So, quick little side note, on HBO Max, my kids love, and I mean love, the animated film Spies in Disguise. And there's a song there that they also use in in Invincible. When I heard it, I was like, oh my God, is that song again? And I'm like, I can't believe this song is getting that much much airtime, but it's like it's crazy because it's also a good song. Um I'm trying to think which one it was. Anyway, probably have it next time. But yeah, I'm loving the show. I just wish they would just drop the entire season. If I can just binge it, like I want to know what happens next. And I love the fact that after every time he tries to say his name, it just cuts to the title, and
Yep.
then also at the very end we get like a bonus scene at right as the end credits start. We get a bonus scene at the end, which continues which leaves you like excited for the next episode. So go ahead, Kuya.
No, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Like I have my. I told you guys already that this was one of the things I was so excited about because of the fact that I love the comic book series. Um, so I want to hear your guys' thoughts. The first at the end or the near the end of the first episode, Mike. What did you think? Were you kind of surprised at what's going to happen
Um,
when Omni Man kind of sort of slaughtered the Justice League, so to speak?
yeah, I was pretty surprised, but then I I guess you could kind of see it coming in a way. Um, but I guess I also got confused because did they also show that he slaughtered them? Because I thought like he also got knocked out.
No, he just got tired. So, so the people that arrived in the scene assumed that he also got attacked by whoever the
Oh,
assailant
okay,
was.
okay. I seem to have missed that in the first episode for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really loving it. And I love the twist that it's going. Like it's really fascinating. So
yeah. I mean that's good. Like, Pinhead, what do you think of the series so far?
I have no opinion on it. I haven't seen it. I don't have Amazon
oh
Prime.
no,
So
spoilers. Oh sorry.
I'm good. I don't care. I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I
Yeah,
have no opinion on it. I don't know if it's good or bad.
gotcha. I thought you already got Prime back.
Nope.
I thought you had the Prime back.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
Again,
Uh,
I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. It's
there,
really cool.
okay. So my thoughts then, just because of it, they do.
Sorry I ruined it for you guys.
No, no,
No,
no,
it's all
no,
good. It's
no,
all
no.
good.
It's okay. It's all right. Like I just wanted to share the beauty of it. Robert Kirkman was interviewed and he talked about it. I don't know if he mentioned it during the Fat Man Beyond podcast, but he said he created the characters like years ago, like like probably a decade ago or something like that. And throughout that decade, he learned a lot from whatever. So like in this version of the cartoon, he kind of sort of made some personal and managerial decisions about the characters on how he changed all of these things, how he changed all of these little things about them and all that stuff versus the ones in the comics. So he says, I understand that like the comic book fans might get upset, but you know what? I created them. I can do whatever I want. so,
Yeah.
so I'm just like, okay, yeah. And then, like again, the the cool thing is like because in the comics, like he got his powers like really quick. When he got his powers, there wasn't any training session or anything like that. He just became invincible. You know what I mean?
Right.
That that conversation that he had with his dad about like, oh, you're not invincible or whatever, how he got his name. That was actually the principal talking to him because
Okay.
he got beat up by the guy that was like going after Amber.
Right.
Uh, so he got punched in the face and all. He got beat up pretty bad, and it's like I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you doing all of these heroic things, but you're not you can't get hurt. You're not invincible. And then that struck in his head. So that's his name. Again, the series itself, it's gonna be it's magnificent. It's I'm looking forward to every Friday watching this series. I hope it gains enough notoriety and popularity so that like people will continue to support it. The Sean or the Seth Rogen movie, whatever they're planning, doesn't matter what it is. If it's a 90-minute movie or whatever, I'll watch it just because. So we'll see. Because obviously the people that are uh, creating the movie are fellow fans. They love they love the series. So and if Robert Kirkman is behind them 100%, then yeah, why not? So I'm good. I'm good. Right again, it's kind of like my favorite thing to watch now right now. Over Winter Soldier and Falcon. So that's kind of a weird thing. So yeah,
Right. For me, I'm just like I'm loving Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm loving Invincible. Like, give me more. Like, and I like that it's a different animation, like adult animation. It's
Yep.
bloody. It's gory.
Yep.
It's the animation again is beautiful. The action sequences, the flying, the music, like it's just well done. And yeah, so if you guys are listening and you have Amazon Prime Video, if you have Amazon Prime, you have access to your Amazon Prime Video account. Check out Invincible. If you love superheroes, you love comic book stuff, check it out. It's worth checking out. So you just never. I mean, especially if you enjoyed The Boys, you're gonna like this one. I think it's safe to say. Or yeah, if you enjoy the superhero comic book genre, you're gonna enjoy this one. And now I'm curious to check out the comic.
they're having a conversation right now, like who's gonna win, Omni Man versus what you call it, Homelander.
Oh, I'm all for Omni Man. That little action sequence, which I will not spoil. Like, holy shit! I was like, wow, wow.
Yeah, it gets pretty brutal. And oh, that's another thing in the comic books. They just showed him dead. So
Hmm.
well, you,
Interesting.
you don't see the thing. So
Interesting.
Pinhead, I may, or I may have an extra account for you. So I'm just letting you know that.
That's all right, man. I'm good.
So if you want to watch it again, it's not it's not a twisty arm thing.
Oh,
I'm
it
just saying.
features. It has a pretty well stacked voice cast, especially from your favorite version of Spock, Zachary Quinto.
Oh,
But he plays a robot here. He plays a robot.
He plays a
now
robot.
I'm completely out.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh,
He
and
plays-
then
he plays
there's
robot.
there's a character there called Rexplode, and he's basically the John Cena of the team.
What? Yeah, there you go. That's the John Cena of the group right there.
He's kind of a douchebag. So
Yeah, I'm done.
not-
I'm good.
He's not kind of a douchebag. He is a douchebag.
Yeah,
did you like episode? Was it 3? Was it 3?
Yeah,
when they went.
I was like, yo, whoa, whoa.
No, like the other one, the when with the Beast Girl.
Yeah. That was cool. That was cool. And that's why like I'm like, if you're gonna go there, like just show me. Like, come on, like that menage a trois, the Troy or whatever. Like,
With duplicate, yeah.
yeah, like come on, like this is adult animation. Go there.
Oh, and also in the comic book, Invincible's girlfriend, Amber, she is not African American, and not like in the cartoon.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm like,
that's
hey,
cool. That's cool. Hey,
progressive. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and then she volunteered in the Philippines. You heard that the thing, right?
So yeah, in Falcon,
They were
Soldier-
eating halo halo, right?
Yeah, they were eating halo halo, which is if you don't know what halo halo is, go look on YouTube, HALO, and you will see what it is. shows. They were eating that. They were like at a food festival. Yeah, they were eating that. And then there's another. So in Falcon and Winter Soldier, we get Tagalog in a rap song, and that's one Filipino reference. In Invincible, they take it up a notch, and there's two Filipino references right after one after the other. And I'm just like, wow, that's cool. I'm like, that's awesome. More of that, please. So, yeah.
It was kind of cool. Like I really like it's fun. It's a fun watch. So again, Pinhead, if you get a chance to get an Amazon account, like I said, it's one of those ones that you would want to look at, just because. Just
Yep.
because. If not, it's okay. We still love you.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Alrighty. So that's Invincible. So again, make sure to check it out. If you've got Amazon Prime, make sure to check out Amazon Prime Video, because they've got a lot of fascinating and interesting B movies there. If you enjoy that sort of thing, which if episodes ago, I was just looking through it on on my iPad, and the titles that were coming up was like, wow, amazing. You could do a whole podcast series just on the movies that they have over there.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean
wow.
the variety of stuff that they have if you have Prime is
Yeah.
incredible. Like if their interface would be slightly good,
Yes, that's what they. That's
I think they would be top two, if not the top streaming site.
yeah. That's the only thing they need to improve on is the user interface, because they've got the content. They've got lots of content, but the user interface needs to be improved on. So that's the only thing about them. So next up, we've got Pinhead, who's going to do a spoiler-free review of Nicolas Cage's brand new film, Willy's Wonderland. Go ahead, Pinhead.
Woo! We got a good one right here, I'll tell you. So I will concur with the fellas that Amazon Prime is a very good value for your buck, especially when you go for B movies and horror films. So I'm going to start putting more horror and, sci-fi in here. I get it. But most of us in our community, we don't care about the space wizards. We don't give a fuck about Harold Potter, or, a lot of us don't even give a shit about that Snyder cut. A lot of us are talking about two movies right now. Psycho Gorman and this movie right now. I didn't understand why Willy's Wonderland was being so hyped up. It's not a great film by any means, but it is a fucking fantastic just homage to. So we'll break it down. First of all, we had the Banana Split movie, which was dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have this movie. This is pretty much, so for those of you out there that don't know, I'm going to do this real quick, and then we're going to get to the quick review because I'm going to spend about 5 minutes on this. So for those of you that don't know, this is a race to see who can get Five Nights at Freddy out first. Because the company over at Five Nights at Freddy, Scott and his buddies, they can't get the shit together. They cannot do it. So now we have this new problem where we have a floodgate of knockoff films that might actually be better than the final product of what Five Nights at Freddy will eventually come out with. Because the Banana Split movie was stupid and it was fucking trash. This movie's stupid, but it's brilliant stupid. There's only two ways now for you guys. So you can't do this now. Five Nights at Freddy had two options to go this route, what Willy's Wonderland did, so it's too late now, or go ultra violent and serious, which that's going to be a hard sell now because Willy's Wonderland has come out, and because of just by Nicolas Cage alone, he says no words what spoiler alert, but it's not really a spoiler alert because you have to see it to believe it. Nicolas Cage says nothing in this film, and he says everything in this film. I'll repeat this one more time for the cheap seats and the brain dead. Nicolas Cage says not one word in this film, and by doing that, he says everything in this film. His actions, his facial expressions, his monikers, his movements, the way he moves around, the way he commands the scenes, he chews scenery from these young kids who are really good in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Because not for nothing, for a B movie that's not that good, quote unquote, in another era, it would be considered a Full Moon or a Tromaville movie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's actually pretty high caliber for that, for being on that level. And that being said, Nicolas Cage swallows scenery without saying one word. This movie, let's look at it because I want to give him credit where credit's due. The director's name is Kevin Lewis. Kevin Lewis did very little directing, and he did an amazing amount of directing. So what Kevin Lewis did was pretty much hired Nicolas Cage to be on his film. He let him run a fucking muck, and that's what makes this movie fantastic. It is over the top. It is nonsense. It is brain dead fair. However, it is fun. Right now, in the horror community, for me, you guys better step your game up because the two movies, they're neck and neck. It's Psycho Gorman in this movie, neck and neck. Because everything that I loved about Psycho Gorman is in this film, only it's a lot less well written. It's a little stupider. So I'll put it out this way: we've seen a renaissance of Nicolas Cage recently. This is the honorary part of his trilogy renaissance. We had Mandy, no one can dispute that. Color Out of Space, and now we got this movie, which is this is just a director going, look, Nick, I don't want you saying a word, but I want you being exactly who you are. And Nick went, okay. And he ran with it, and the director let him do that. And because the director let him do that, we have a fantastic film here. For you Lulu Lollipop lickers out there who hold your value in Rotten Tomatoes for a movie that's not supposed to be so good, it's 65% at Rotten Tomatoes. That's a B movie starring Nicolas Cage past his prime. It's more than that, in my opinion, but for you guys who worship Rotten Tomatoes, it's at 65% right now. So even they see potential in that because that's what? A little below certified fresh. So this movie is a fantastic pop. You talk about popcorn films like Godzilla and Kong. This is the quintessential popcorn film where you turn your brain off. You want to have a great time. It's actually a pretty good date movie, to be honest. You have a great time and you just sit back and enjoy. If you're expecting this to be Citizen Kane or Saving Private Ryan, you're expecting too much of it, and that's your fault. If you go into this with low expectations and just wanting Nicolas Cage in the purest form, if that's what you're going into this film, I promise you will get it 100% and then some. My verdict for this, the snob in me wants to give it a 4 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
But the horror critic in me, the horror fan in this, because this is a just full-blown horror slasher under the Five Nights at Freddy realm, I give it an 8 out of 10 because this is Nicolas Cage just being allowed to run amok and be the best he can be. Like it's pure Nicolas Cage without Nicolas Cage talking. And like I said, I could say a lot more, but it will spoil it, and I'm not going to do that to people because I want you guys to experience this, because in 3 days you can rent it at Vudu, YouTube, everywhere. Right now it's only rentable. I will say you could hold out. It might come on Shudder because they're like running a Nicolas Cage renaissance at Shudder. They got Mandy in color and all this shit. So it might come on Shudder, but I would implore you to put money into this. And at the very least, it's a rental. It's a very good rental. 8 out of 10. I love this movie. This movie is a front runner for my favorite horror film of the year so far, next to Psycho Gorman.
Nice.
Like, this movie was fucking fantastic. I love it. Good job, guys. Great job. We need more of this in horror. Yes, I love the serious horror like Ari Aster and maybe even the new Saw movie that'll come out, and I'm looking forward to that. But we also need to have a good time with horror because that's how horror was, especially during the 80s. The slasher films, we all had all those movies we had a great time with. We lost that a little bit because, like I said, a lot of the pretentious snobs seeped in to the horror industry that I want to bust their teeth out of. And that's why we're having a problem where if you like movies like this, you're not a true horror fan. Don't ever let anybody tell you that shit, because anybody that tells you that shit, they're not the true horror fan. And they're the ones that are sending horror back into the gutter. Promote and support movies like this so we can get horror back to where it belongs. Just to have a fun, good time. That is what horror is about. Whether it's intellectual or not, it doesn't matter what genre it is. Horror has always been meant to be about having a good time. And this movie brings that back. I'll even before I go give it an extra bump. It's an 8.5 out of 10. Great film. Great film.
Very cool. So I did get Psycho Gorman on DVD at Walmart because it was just $10. And I started watching it with the wife, but of course, as soon as Psycho Gorman decapitates two guys' heads, she's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop it. It's not your thing." I knew it wouldn't be, but
I knew it wouldn't either.
it was my poor decision because I was like, "Oh, let's check this out," because I've heard that it's funny. I've heard that the kids are great, especially the little girl, and so far from what I've seen, it's pretty interesting. So I still need to finish that. Once I'm done with Psycho Gorman, I definitely want to check out Willy's Wonderland. And the fact that you mentioned that Nicolas Cage doesn't say anything and yet he says everything in his performance, I mean, that's the sign of a true actor right there. Because, people forget, like, acting isn't just saying lines. It's a whole performance. And it can even just be all in the face. If you can emote an emotion without saying anything, I think it's even better in a sense of just portraying and absolutely utilizing the medium of film, because it is a audio visual format. So
it truly is. And not for nothing, over the latter years, we know he's gone through a lot of shit, and we like to do the memes and key it up and laugh it up. But we also tend to forget that this man is an Oscar-nominated actor.
That's right.
Oscar winner.
Yeah, excuse me.
Right.
Exactly. He's an Oscar-winning actor. Thank you,
right.
Kuya. He's an Oscar-winning actor. And this was during a time where they weren't just handing them out for, participate. You had to earn the shit. So, not for nothing, This man is, as Kuya corrected me, an Oscar winner. Like I said, we like to key and do the memes, but he is an Oscar winner, so let's not forget that.
Right. And then you mentioned the director just let Nicolas Cage run amok. I mean, if I were to direct the film and I bagged Nicolas Cage, I would let him do the same thing and just let him do what he does best and just keep up with him. Make sure you're constantly filming and getting everything, because imagine how much footage, that they even shot of that film that probably was left in the cutting room floor, and that's the thing.
I'd be very interested to see a director's cut of this if there is one.
That's right. And that's the thing, like directors, I get it. When you're a big director, you have a vision, whatever, that's fine. But you also work with actors because that's their job, is to act and perform. So it has to at least be a 50-50 thing. But then there's times when, you got to just pull back and let them do their thing and just capture it. And, let them run amok. And like someone like Nicolas Cage, how can you not? So, and it seems like that was the best decision, because from your review and your perspective and your reaction to the film, that's what he does best. So that was the right thing for him to do, for that director to let him have at it.
And on a closing note, like, you can tell that this is controlled chaos. The director obviously picked his points and he didn't just let him, run naked through the streets,
Right.
But he knew where Nicolas Cage needed to be let alone and where he needed to wrangle him in.
Right.
And that's what makes this movie, you're like, okay. And you can see that through the film because, like I said, he says nothing and he says everything at the same time. And as much as that's great acting on Nicolas Cage's part, that's also a director's choice as well. So
right.
Because at the end of the day, for all intents and purposes, when it works out, they are the captain of the ship. They're supposed to be anyway.
Right. Well, just by you saying that, it just makes me more excited to see it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I will.
And thank you, Marty. Thank you, because he insisted that I see this, and he was right. This movie was well worth the price of admission.
That's right. He mentioned it. Yeah.
He's like, I want, and I can't wait to see him at work on Monday to talk about this, because he's the one that got the ball rolling for this review for me to actually even pay for this film. So thank you, Marty, because it was well worth the price of admission. As I said, it was fantastic.
Awesome. Alrighty, and then we've got a very brief review from Kuya with another Nicolas Cage film, which is on Netflix now.
Yep.
Called Jiu-Jitsu. Go ahead.
For every Con Air, for every The Rock, for every Leaving Las Vegas, for every Gone in 60 Seconds, for every Willy's Wonderland, Nicolas Cage has done a shitload of movies, fantastic, great movies. For every one of those, he ends up saying yes to a pile of dog shit once every so often. Jiu-Jitsu, unfortunately, is one of them. It's a poor knockoff of Predator. Is a poor knockoff of Mortal Kombat. It's a poor knockoff of G.I. Joe. All at the same time. Makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. I told you guys that I saw it for 13 minutes. There's a scene there where the translator, or they were in there's a group of soldiers in Cambodia, and they were speaking to a translator, or to a lady, and they called their translator. The translator didn't know jack shit about the Cambodian language, so he was like just like half-assing everything.
Wow.
So So you know that this is the beginning of it, right? And then all of a sudden, the protagonist of the movie, he got caught or whatever. He's in the base with the army dudes. Next thing you know, this pretty pretty good looking army personnel comes in saying, "Hey, I know who you are. Even if you don't know yourself, I'll find out who you are." I'm like, "What the fuck are you saying?" You know what I'm talking about? Like 13 minutes in, I was just like, you know what, fuck this bullshit. But then like I was reading reading some of the things about the movie, and they said the action scenes were great. And when I was looking at who the stunt crew is, Tony Jaa was in this movie. Okay, so I was excited. I was like, oh, cool, Tony Jaa. Couple of scenes. That's about it.
Ugh,
They just use this fucking name.
what a waste.
Um, uh, the guy Frank. What was
Frank
his name?
Grillo.
Yeah, Frank Grillo is there.
My boy, I love him.
Oh, Frank Grillo's amazing, right? Fantastic
He's the
action
man,
actor.
man. He's the man.
Not so much in this movie. Yeah. Uh, basically, they're fighting against a very fucking indestructible, very capable killing machine, and it only comes into to our world every 2 decades or every 12 years or some shit, some bullshit like that, to fight the best people that we have.
The best fighters.
So like Mortal Kombat, basically that's what it is. But it hunts them down, so he's the predator, so to speak. Uh, so I was just like I was just trying to strain myself to just watch even just the fight scenes, and the fight scenes was just like, what the fuck am I watching, bro? and and then Nicolas Cage's character, it was basically Raiden, and he was just there to just tell everybody what jujitsu was. Jujitsu. That was how he spoke to jujitsu. Blah, blah, blah. It's not the ancient Japanese art of grappling and joint locking and manipulations. No, jujitsu is like kumite in Bloodsport, but only suckier.
He says that only suckier.
No, I'm just
Oh,
He
being,
just
okay.
made
I'm just being a dick right now.
I was like,
I'm
holy
just saying-
shit, dude. Why you really just
I
give
was
up
just
yeah.
in this one.
Nicolas Cage is one of my favorite actors. Like just to watch, just because he, for me, he's fun. He's fun to watch.
He's fucking awesome.
He, like every time he speaks, it reminds me of like those fucking hippies that smoke way too much pot, and then they say, you know what, dude. It was, I'm just like, whatever. That's
I'm
why
gonna
leaving Las Vegas was a perfect role for him, because that's the reason he won the Oscar. It was because of the fact that he played himself. He played an alcoholic, drugged up person who was trying to get better, and there you go, leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But fucking jujitsu, God, I spent too much time like bitching about it longer than I fucking cared about it. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
I know, and I'm just like,
You
you know
put
what?
a lot of invested time into this shit for something you hate.
Don't fucking watch it, please give it a thumbs down if you guys are watching it. Like, give it a thumbs
Talk
down.
about
Like,
burying the lead.
don't like
Really.
don't even look at it. Don't even give it an eye, or
Well,
don't give
I
me like
added
a
it.
fucking.
I added it to my watch list.
Okay, then may God have mercy on your soul, Mike.
When we do a Nicolas Cageathon marathon, we're gonna have to put this in rotation.
That's perfectly fine, and I'm gonna skip it, just like fucking
Do a
the.
drinking game.
Oh
Do a
God.
drinking game on it.
Like, I will die of alcoholic poisoning, because I like at the very beginning of the movie, I'm gonna start drinking like crazy.
Just chug a whole bottle already.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, fuck it, I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, so for me, like Pinhead gave Willy's Wonderland 8.5 out of 10, right?
Yep.
I can't even fucking score it. It's a zero. It's a negative zero.
Oh
It's
no!
it's the absolute zero of fucking. I would rather watch Captain Marvel and Thor Ragnarok back to back.
No way.
Then
Are you
then
fucking
watch
kidding me?
this bullshit.
Holy shit! Wow, wow.
If I was Pinhead, I would watch every John Cena victory
Those are some bold words.
in the history. Then
Bold
watch this
words.
bullshit, man.
Wow.
If I was Jester, I would watch every Leto laugh
Or the
as
Last
Joker,
Jedi, the Last Jedi over and over.
or the Last Jedi over
Like,
and over and over
fucking
again.
awesome.
You know. And if I was Mike, I would, I would watch fucking like any movie. He likes that.
Joshua Lee cut over and over again.
No, he likes all the movies except for the Justice League. So
That's not what I mean. The
Yeah, so you
Joshua cut.
Yeah, you'd have to watch.
I would
the
hashtag
Joshua,
restore the Justice League.
the Joshua Whedon's cut.
Oh my god.
Joshua.
Yeah. So
Wow.
don't watch it. Don't
Yeah,
even mention it.
That's a hit hard.
Now,
That's
what do you say? Let's go find some rockets.
Yeah. Again, iconic characters, iconic. Even his mid.
How do you like how that shit works?
Right. Like the mid-tier movies that he has, like next was a mid-tier movie, and that was more enjoyable than this bullshit, man.
Ooh, it's even better than Knowing.
Yes, it's even better.
It's worse than I should say it's worse than Knowing. Knowing's better.
What was the one when he was talking about the bees?
Oh no, it is not worse
Yes.
than The Wicker Man.
It's worse than the Wicker Man. Trust me on this, man.
I don't buy that. The
Now we
bees!
gotta find
The
out.
bees!
Now our curiosity. I have
Go
not seen
watch
the-
it.
I
No,
have not seen
Go
The
watch it.
Wicker Man. Well, we
Go
should
watch
all
it.
watch it. We should all
Hey,
watch
go watch it.
Do a drinking game.
Go watch
I
it.
saw Jiu-Jitsu one time. I remember trying to review, and I very vaguely remember it.
Yeah.
But I nowhere near remember it being worse than The Wicker Man. That movie was dog shit.
It's bad.
The bees!
It's horrible.
So
The bees!
once we get 14 minutes in the film, we'll be like, "Hey, we made it."
We made it.
I'm just like, I was done. Just like, I understand if the running, if the joke was like the translator can't or doesn't understand Cambodian very well or whatever, but throughout the entire 5-minute scene, he was doing the half-ass Cambodian, understanding of what. Oh, I think she meant, but this, this what she said, and the boss was just like, just get the fuck out of here, man. So I'm just like,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
I don't like it. I guess just say that.
Really?
I was excited to watch it. I was just like, oh shit, Nicolas
You
Cage.
don't say.
I want to watch Jiu-Jitsu, and then
Oh boy. All righty. Well, moving on. We've got an official. So within the last 2 weeks, since the last podcast, within those 2 weeks, Marvel finally made an announcement after 84 years on the Black Widow film. Have you seen that meme of not de-aged, but way like aged up Scarlett Johansson at the Black Widow premiere, and she looks like she's 65 or something because
wow.
of how long it's been.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it'll be that way.
So Marvel Studios announced that Black Widow will now debut in theaters and on Disney Plus Premier Access for $30 on July 9th. So they moved it back from the first week of May to now July 9th. And the only reason why I think that they moved it back that far is because, again, going back to the vaccine rollout, now more people being vaccinated, and more people now with Godzilla versus Kong. We see it in the numbers and box office here domestically in the US. Lots of people showing up to see Godzilla versus Kong. There's no better movie to get people back in the theater than with a Marvel film, and I think they're realizing by July the middle of the summer, theater capacities will now go up from I think now it's at 25%. Possibly by July, we may be at 50, maybe even 75%. Who knows? But for sure, the theater capacity will adjust, because I heard that in California, they are now going to be allowing indoor concerts and events, like within the next few weeks, this month. So that's huge. So now you're going to be seeing, with movie theaters now open in LA and several locations in California and New York, I think they're banking on the fact that theater capacity will increase by July 9th, if not at 50%, maybe even at 75%. So they're banking on not just making the money with Premiere Access at home for people who don't want to go to a movie theater yet, and for people who want to show up for a Marvel film. Well, there you go. So July 9th is the new and hopefully final release date for Black Widow. And then we also got a brand new trailer that dropped today, which is like, I think, the third trailer, which is unusual, because usually, they'll have a teaser trailer and then a theatrical trailer, and then a bunch of, little quick short spots on TV and then online, like 15, 30-second spots. But now we got a brand new trailer. It feels like a more personal film. The Avengers theme is there, which this is not an Avengers film, but she is one of the OG Avengers. And I like the fact that they made a rendition of the Avengers theme in Russian with like a Russian choir. I thought it was pretty cool. But what excites me to see this is mostly the cast. You've got, of course, Scarlett Johansson. You got Florence Pugh and Rachel Weisz and what's his name? Jim Hopper, aka the Red. What's his name? He plays the Red
Guardian.
The Red Guardian. So I'm really looking forward to that cast. And supposedly, this of course ties into the MCU, and there's supposed to be a big revealing thing at the end of the film, perhaps in the end credits. Some people are speculating that it's going to turn out that Black Widow that died in Endgame is a Skrull, which I think that's kind of cheap. If they did that, I'd be lame. Because no Skrull,
blame.
I don't think a Skrull would do that. They'd be like, fuck that shit. I ain't jumping. I ain't sacrificing myself for these people I don't know. But then, yeah. Go ahead.
Like, what did you guys think of the trailer?
I dug it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Pinhead, what do you think?
I don't care anymore. I'm over this shit. Like,
You shared it. You shared the trailer, didn't you?
I know. I want the people out there. I want you guys to see, like, because IGN's like, here you go. Like they like, I don't know what it is with IGN, but they post shit 17 seconds after they have it uploaded to me, and I'm like, okay, here you guys go. Because we need to start placing bets at this point. Like, is this movie coming out, or like, are we gonna wait another 20 years? Or I don't care. I really don't care. Like, and I'll tell you right now, you'll if I'm gonna see this at all, I'm gonna see it in the movie theater, because you will see me trying to sneak into Scarlett Johansson's mansion to eat her pussy to get a ticket before I paid Disney directly. Before I paid Disney directly $30 to see this movie. This movie that should have came out 12 years ago.
4 years ago.
He's like, I'm not doing that. So if you're getting money from me, you're gonna get it from the theater. Otherwise, you can kick fucking rocks, because I'm tired of this shit. This shit is like the CM Punk shit in wrestling. Will he come back? He's coming back. He's coming back. Like, you've been saying this shit for 12 years. We don't need to hear it anymore. Either shit or get off the pot, as the old saying goes.
It sounds like you need to take a sip of that twisted tea.
I don't know.
If I'm seeing this film, I'm seeing it in the theater, not on my little screen.
No, I'm not paying $30 on my little screen. You know.
Right.
when I saw the previews, right, I was just like, okay, it was kind of weird from the other previews that they did before. You know, it seems like they kept adding more shit to the story than what they had originally.
Not only that, this one seems a lot more serious
Yeah, right.
than
Ooh.
the last ones. This one's very emphasis on a serious tone. When the last, especially the first one, was kind of lighthearted, especially with the jokes of I've gotten fat in my suit. Like, okay,
Yeah. Still
Like,
fight.
there's none of that, and this shit is like somber, like you said, with the Avengers Russian choir. Like,
Ho, 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 ho.
yeah, like it's very like,
Ho, ho,
like,
ho.
okay, we got serious all of a sudden. Like a couple of months ago, you were key and telling jokes. Now we're having a funeral for a friend. So that is another thing that concerns me. What tone do you want to go with? Because apparently you can't even figure it out.
Yeah.
So that worries me there too.
But like all I care about is whether I'm gonna see what the fuck happened in Budapest.
Yeah, you probably won't.
That's all I give a shit about. Like you know, remember like how Clint and him or Clint and Natasha were talking about like, oh, this is just like Budapest. No, man, nothing could be worse than Budapest. Come on. I'm like, you know, they're fighting alien fucking overlords and all that shit, and then there's like nothing's worse than Budapest. I really want to know what the fuck happened in Budapest that made them think that this isn't anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I want to see.
Maybe they fought the X-Men in Budapest, you know?
Or something. I don't know. Maybe it was Mephisto
Maybe
or
it's
something.
Yeah.
Mephisto.
Magneto.
So I'm just like the
Mac Daddy.
when I was watching the previews, I was just like, holy shit! They made Black Widow and turned her into fucking Captain America. Like with like you know with the you know the righteous thing, because like she died a righteous death, and this is her story. And this is how it happened in the beginning.
I've got
this is
better
the
my
reason-
Ranger.
And this is the reason why I did this. You know, all that stuff. So chances are she might not be a scroll, but like, I heard a rumor that like because Natasha and her sister are pretty similar, because in Endgame, like remember in Infinity War, like Natasha was blonde, right? And Natasha's sister is blonde.
So are
So
we
the-
going down that road? It was her sister instead of her.
That's what I
That's
heard.
just as much of a cop out as a scroll.
Yep.
Like, just stop.
And
Just
this
stop.
is this is the worst one, Pinhead. During the snap, and when Tony did the snap, he brought her back to life.
Oh,
Wait,
fucking
brought,
80s fan
brought
theories
back
and all this bullshit.
Natasha.
Natasha?
Yeah,
No.
that's
She's
that's the
on
one
a
of the
cell
things
phone.
too. So I
That
was like
doesn't make
this.
sense. That doesn't
No,
make sense.
I know. So when I was reading through that, and I was like, yeah, they put themselves in the fucking hole when they killed off one of the original Avengers.
Yeah, so
And you know what? It's not going to matter, because especially the Marvel lollipop lickers, it won't matter. They'll accept it. It'll be accepted.
yeah,
So,
so what I read was that supposedly the speculation is Florence Pugh's character
Hmm.
disappears in the blip, and then she comes back when Tony Stark or when Hulk brings everyone back. She comes back there, and then when she comes back, she realizes her sister's gone, and that's where she takes over the Black Widow mantle or whatever. That's what I've been hearing. But you know,
God.
I
It
don't
looks
like.
it looks interesting. Again, like
Yeah.
my wife and I were watching the trailer, and she was like, "Oh, so Black Widow is gonna be Captain America in a spy movie?" And I was like, "Yeah, kind of, sorta." And she was like, wait, does Black Widow have superpowers? No. Oh, so she's gonna get hurt. Yeah. Oh, okay. And then she
And
was like, "Are we gonna watch it?" And I was like, "Have we ever missed any of these movies?" And she was like, "No, but hopefully it's better than Captain Marvel."
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
She hated Captain Marvel.
Wow.
She really hated. She was just like, I'm all for empowerment and all that rah rah, all that stuff, right? But that extra shit that they did in Endgame and that Captain Marvel thing, I hated every minute of it. That's what she said. So I was just like, good.
Fascinating. Interesting.
And to
Yeah.
answer your earlier question real quick, Mike, the biggest reason why I shared this trailer have to be honest,
Uh-huh.
I'm promoting Florence Pugh because that young woman needs to be put out there all the way
For
because
sure.
she is the future of this business. One of the few bright shining stars of this business, especially in the horror genre. So, because she has the potential to be a very, not just the next great scream queen, but she has the potential to branch out past that, like Jamie Lee Curtis did, and become just a great actress. So that's the real reason why I'm promoting this, is because I love her.
Gotcha.
The rest of them can kick fucking rocks.
I loved her in Fighting with My Family.
Yeah, she was a great Paige.
Yeah.
That movie, the flaws of that movie,
Wait, that was her.
her.
Yeah,
But
that's her.
That was her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her. The young woman in Midsommar. Like, that's her big, huge claim to fame right now because she turned in such an amazing performance in that movie. Like, she submitted that she is the future of this business, one of the futures. Just like Zendaya and a lot of these, you need to watch out for these young women because they're coming with the heavy fucking heat. They're not playing around.
Speaking of Zendaya, I'm gonna segue into the next topic. We finally got the trailer for Space Jam: A New Legacy, which I actually didn't mind. I thought it was cool. You got a WB verse. By the way, if you notice,
server verse
in the server verse of the brothers Warner verse, if you notice, we were talking about it in our last episode that who got canceled? Oh, Pepe Le Pew got canceled, but I haven't seen A Clockwork Orange yet. But someone pointed out that those characters are there in the background.
Yep.
Don't they in that film, A Clockwork Orange? Do they? They're pretty violent. I know that. I don't know.
Kind of sort of raped somebody.
Kind of sort of rape. I don't know how you can kind of sort of
No,
rape.
it's not kind of sort of rape. They full blown rape somebody with a phallic. They not only rape, they sodomize.
So
And
that's what.
And they beat somebody up by in the tune of Singing in the Rain.
Yes. So
Holy shit! So they canceled Pepe Le Pew, but then they put those guys in there. And granted, it might be a few quick seconds, but the fact that they put them in there in the trailer and it looks like they're gonna be in the film, those characters, I'm like, wow. Okay, where's the justice for that?
that's what you call hypocrisy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Speaking of the trailer, Lola Bunny, we talked about Lola Bunny last time. They changed her figure. So I do like in the trailer that we get to see LeBron James as a cartoon, which we never saw. Well, we saw a little bit of Michael Jordan become a cartoon when he was like what would happen if he lost and he became a slave. But in this one, it made sense to see LeBron become an actual cartoon character and then become like actually, back to his real self. And then the Looney Tunes characters kind of like become a 3D characters. And I do like actually the look of Lola Bunny is growing on me. She actually looks better than what we initially saw in those images released like not too long ago. So speaking of Zendaya, she will be voicing Lola Bunny, which I think is awesome. And Speedy Gonzalez, I'm not sure if
Is
talked
Gabriel
about it.
Iglesias.
It's Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, but he did announce on his Instagram because there was word that he might have been canceled.
Nope.
Speedy Gonzalez was not canceled. Gonna get it right here. So at least there's that. So yeah, they released the character posters last week, and Fluffy Guy said not only did Speedy Gonzalez not get canceled, he got his own poster. It was an honor to voice Speedy for the new Space Jam. So that's from Gabriel Iglesias, aka Fluffy Guy on Instagram. So that was cool. And as far as like the trailer, I'm gonna watch the movie on HBO Max. I've gotten my kids into the Looney Tunes. They dug the first Space Jam film. So some people were saying like, are we gonna get a Michael Jordan cameo? I don't know. I doubt it. I don't see a reason why he would cameo. Like why? Like even if they threw money at him, like I don't see them throwing a lot of money because he like for a quick cameo. I don't see why. But it's growing on me. The whole LeBron thing is growing on me. I see why the appeal for this new generation, and it's like the first thing we see is Iron Giant. A lot of people are saying that they got Ready Player One vibes as soon as we see Iron Giant, and then a lot of the other, So I'm digging the concept of this whole Warner Brothers universe of characters that they can, like we even see, I think Game of Thrones world or whatever. Though I don't think we're gonna see that in Space Jam, of course. We're just gonna reference it because it's too
Fucking
bloody.
server world is just annoying right now. I'm just like fucking Don Cheadle is the bad guy in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
I can't say I can't picture Don Cheadle as the bad guy. I'm sorry. This when I saw the previews, I was just like, what the fuck did they do? They just put like added Looney Tunes characters to Ready Player One.
Exactly.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And LeBron's like son, I don't want to be a basketball player, Dad. I am a I'm teaching you how to shoot, son. Blah 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 blah. Like if your kid doesn't want to play basketball, he doesn't have to play basketball. You're rich. He can do whatever he wants.
You talk about teen angst and Superman and Lois.
Exactly.
How about some kid angst right there?
Exactly. And then it's annoying. And then lastly, you mentioned something about it. Like, thank goodness they didn't cancel, or they tried to cancel, they tried to cancel a Mexican stereotype. They did cancel a French stereotype. But yet they kept the fucking hillbilly hick Merca with a gun in the movie.
Does he have a gun?
Oh yeah, Yosemite Sam fucking
he shoots the basket.
shoot the basketball, right?
Yeah, he shoots the basketball, so he has the guns.
So
interesting.
What's up with that? And this is a movie that said that LeBron James had a hand on every single detail of this because this was his movie. They weren't gonna get LeBron James if they didn't meet his the certain approvals or whatever. So I guess LeBron James likes hillbilly hicks with guns shooting at people. I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Or it was just glossed over.
And and then every time I see it, I'm like, fucking, it's Ready Player One. That's all I saw. It's basketball player, or it's a basketball version of Ready Player One.
Well, I'm sure when they saw it, they were like, Space Jam and Ready Player One. There we go.
Yeah. So they're gonna, so instead of like restoring the Snyderverse, they're gonna put up with this bullshit. So I don't get it, but whatever. It's for the kids. I guess this is gonna make like $1 billion because it's a kid movie. So I'm not gonna watch it. I'm sorry. there's only one Space Jam, and then that's the one with Bill Murray saving the day. And right? Am I wrong? Bill Murray saved the day. He was the best player that Michael Jordan picked.
Yep. The
And
MVP.
like I said, the storyline is just a little meh. You have to save our son from the Monstars.
Oh,
Or
they're not
from the
they're
Goon
not
Star,
Monstars. They're different.
or the Goon Stars, or whatever
Yeah, I
the
think
hell
it's
they
Goon
are.
Stars. Yeah.
Squad.
I
No,
actually was hoping for Monstars, but they came up with something.
So at the end of the game, when the chips are down at the climax of this movie, LeBron is gonna pass the ball, right? Or is he gonna take the shot?
Oh, he's gonna take the shot.
Are you sure? Because he never did.
Yeah, he did. And he
We'll
smacked into the virtual wall.
we'll find out. You gotta see it. You gotta see it so you
I'm
can find
not.
out.
Nope. Yeah, like he's probably gonna be called for traveling or something like that, and he's gonna blame his teammates for
He's
shit.
gonna be like,
And then he's gonna move to a different team so that he can win his son back. You know,
oh man.
because he can't win. He can't win with this team. He needs to load up the team. Did you see the lineup of his team? He had Superman. He had fucking Iron
His name's
Giant.
Superman?
Yeah, he had
Really?
number one on the list, Superman.
Oh, okay. But we didn't see Superman, right? Like,
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we didn't see Superman. It's just like Superman. There was like a list of he wants, like the ringers.
oh, okay.
So he wants like, oh, I want these guys: Superman, fucking Iron Giant,
I missed
and
that.
some other like 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 Uber alpha male type of characters.
Because if Henry Cavill shows up there, I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, how'd they get him in Space Jam and not in like Shazam?
I know, right? I don't know, but it's a hard pass. So
Pinhead, any other thoughts?
Fuck this movie.
Yep.
Seriously, fuck it. You
All
guys
right.
tried doing some bullshit with the Quad City DJs too, like sneaking
you
that
hear
in
that?
there. That annoyed
Yeah.
me. So that's why I say all I gotta say about this is fuck this piece of dog shit movie.
If they're gonna remake a classic like that, nope. Not gonna do
And
it.
they ruined it too.
Oh yeah,
Because it was a shitty remix.
'Cause
I like remixes, but that was dog shit. So fuck this dog shit
'cause
movie.
they
I
were
hope
gonna
it bombs.
they were gonna use like the new rapper guys that like everybody
Fuck them.
loves.
Fuck them. I hope this movie bombs. Because like the Joker said, this city deserves a better class of criminal. Children deserve a better class of family film. So fuck this piece of shit.
Go watch Tom and Jerry in the
Exactly.
hotel.
Fine. Fuck this shit.
I
I'd
don't
rather
know
watch
about
that.
To
Tom
be
and
quite
Jerry.
honest, fuck them both.
Speaking of great family entertainment, we got not one but two trailers for the upcoming family film from DC in August called The Suicide Squad. We got Jonathan Cena claiming, well, not Jonathan Cena, but Peacemaker wearing a toilet bowl on his head, claiming that he would, if he had to
That
eat
was a good insult,
bunch
by the
of
way.
dicks.
That was like
yeah, if he had to eat a bunch of dicks laying around on the beach
for
to
freedom
save the
and
world, for
to see the world for
peace,
freedom, right?
he would do it. So,
Confirmed he likes eating dicks.
yeah, so we got that first trailer, which honestly was okay for me, but I knew that we would get another more like wow, bang, fizz, pop, oh my gosh, like trailer, which we actually got way sooner. So that's that brand new trailer. The second, the theatrical trailer is now actually attached to Godzilla versus Kong in theaters. So that debuted March 31st, that new Suicide Squad trailer. And that if you were to see Godzilla versus Kong at a local movie theater, you will see that brand new The Suicide Squad trailer. But in that first teaser, we got the reveal of Starro, and we got a lineup of some characters. But now in this theatrical trailer, we're getting way more characters. Polka Dot Man, in action, throwing his polka dots, which seem to be explosive. And TDK, played by what's his face?
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion. That's right. Thank you. So it looks awesome. It's just crazy that they're, of course, very timely, hyping up the Suicide Squad, which is not due until August, when they could have already made an announcement about restoring the Snyderverse. And Warner Brothers like, we're moving on. And then also Black Adam got a release date now of is it July? I'm trying to remember, like July 2022. They did a whole thing on Times Square where they took control of the billboards for a quick bit to make the brand new release date announcement. So Black Adam is now coming July 29, 2022. So that's another DC film that's coming up. But yeah, the Suicide Squad trailer, I liked the first trailer. It was okay. The second trailer, even better. All the explosions and all the action and fun.
Did you notice remember that scene when they had the Thinker and they were grilling the Thinker?
Yes.
If you do this, do that, we're gonna kill you. If
You
do
die.
this, do
Yep.
that, yeah, you die or whatever, right?
Yep.
Did you notice the guy in the back?
No.
If you watch it right now, he looks like me. When I saw it, I was like, holy shit, that's me. What the fuck am I doing in this movie? Like, I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
like when I saw it, I'm like, is that really me? Like, I was just like, whatever, it's weird. But James Gunn is probably gonna have a killer ass soundtrack. He started off with the Pinhead. What's the name of that song?
Dirty Work by Steely Dan.
Yeah, Dirty Work. That's fucking a classic right there. So he's gonna come up with more shit. Like, if I'm not mistaken. Like, King Shark is right now my favorite character so far.
Yes. Voiced
by Sylvester Stallone.
Stallone, man.
Instead of I am Groot, hand.
Yep. Hand. And then Amanda Waller's like, yes, that's your hand. And then what's his face?
Fuck me, we're gonna die.
Yeah, because the first teaser trailer is a Red Band trailer.
Yeah.
Which apparently broke the record for most viewed Red Band trailer that beat out Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And then also in that trailer, you've got Idris Elba as Bloodsport,
yeah.
who says like, fuck me, we're gonna die. And then Polka Dot Man's like, I hope so.
I don't know if Sylvester Stallone is the voice of King Shark though.
That's what they said.
Him.
That's what James Gunn confirmed.
Yep, that's him.
Then why is there another actor under the name of King Shark?
Maybe he's the guy that's mocap.
Unless he's the guy that's in the suit.
Yeah, mocap.
But there's another guy built for King Shark, and it's not Stallone. Stallone's still unknown.
Unless Stallone is also playing another character. But when you listen to that voice, when you listen to his voice, that's Stallone. The Suicide Squad, King Shark.
So I don't know, man. It looks pretty.
Yeah,
What's interesting?
It says James Gunn confirms Sylvester Stallone voices King Shark in the Suicide Squad for his first movie in the DC extended universe. So, yeah, that's for the voice. What were we saying, Kuya?
I'm gonna watch it, but like I'm just like a little. It didn't give me any like sort of excitement because it was it was the same guys. It was the Suicide Squad, but it didn't give me any sort of like hoopla and excitement like I did like when I watched like trailers for like Mortal Kombat or fucking the Snyder Cut or anything like that. You know what I mean. So it was funny.
I mean, not for nothing. It wasn't even as exciting as the original Suicide Squad trailer. Like the first trailer for the original Suicide Squad, you can say what you want about the movie. It got you excited for the film. This trailer it's junk.
Yeah.
I know everybody wants to lick Jonathan Cena's lollipop. I get it, and the quirky little key jokes, but this was boring bullshit. It was mediocre, average, middle of the road bullshit. Like it really was. We've been waiting this long for this, really, and I don't want to hear. Oh, it was a taste. Like we've had a plenty. Like I know I keep bringing this up, but Dune's first trailer, Not for Nothing, gave us a little taste, and it was far more exciting than this piece of shit. So, and it's coming out later than the Suicide Squad is. So, there's no reason for this. This mediocre, average, middle of the road shit doesn't cut it anymore. You want to sell tickets? You've already sold the tickets to the nerds. You want to sell tickets to people like me, and there's a lot of people out there like me. You need to step your fucking game up. This doesn't cut it. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, so I'm seeing Steve Agee as King Shark.
I think he's just a character. He's just the mocap guy.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because Sylvester Stallone is credited as King Shark voice. So, and Taika Waititi also has an appearance.
He's probably going to be Starro, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my God. Is he gonna be like cracking jokes?
I'm sure he's going to be cracking jokes.
Well, are we gonna see like little starfishes on people's faces, and then they're gonna be like cracking jokes?
I hope I hope that little Starros would come up, but I'm expecting a lot of unnecessary jokes here and there. But again, watch the trailer just because you're gonna see my face.
Yeah,
you're gonna see me there.
You need to post it then. Post a screen.
Yeah, exactly. Post it, because no one's gonna know that shit.
And then just be like, "Yo, I'm clear for my NDA. I can tell you guys now, I'm in the Suicide Squad film."
Fuck out of here! I'm not gonna fucking Oh yeah, I'm the Enchantress. Fucking, I was doing the dancing and shit.
the silly dance.
The little stupid ass dance.
Oh boy. Alrighty, well, that's about it. We could do more news, but we've done 3 hours of a show with a bunch of reviews and feedback and a little bit of news. So, yeah.
I got one thing to say.
Go ahead.
As much as I am disappointed with Warner Brothers, I'm extra disappointed that they canceled New Gods and The Trench.
Oh, that's right.
That was gonna be those movies are gonna be wonderful artistic movies, and for whatever the fuck reason, they don't want to do it. So,
well, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they cancel Ava DuVernay's New Gods because they are in the process of restoring the Snyderverse, and they're going to let Snyder continue with Justice League 2 and 3. And they're going to put Ava DuVernay's New Gods on hold. That's what I'm hoping. But if they're not doing that and they're not restoring the Snyderverse, then fuck that shit. Give me Ava DuVernay's New Gods with Tom King, because they've been working on it since 2018. And even Tom King like posted a tweet, like that one scene with Barda and Mr. Miracle, and then he just like, and I'm like, oh my God, dude. Yeah, that's Warner Brothers does not have I should have mentioned this last time. Like, holy shit, I need to apply. I need to apply for head of like Warner Brothers, for what's her name's job. Like, geez Louise, these people have no fucking clue. Like, you're teasing us with Apocalypse and the New Gods, and now we're supposed to get a film on it. And like again, I'm hoping that because they're holding it or they're stopping that because now they're gonna give way to Snyder to continue his story. But if that's not the case, then holy shit, big mistake. By the way, they also did recast John Henry Allen, Barry Allen's father, is now no longer going to be the great Billy Crudup. It's going to be what's his face, a different actor.
It's gonna be the guy from Band of Brothers, the second guy, second lieutenant guy, or the second commander guy. Ron Livingstone, or Rod, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're talking about. I'm just trying to get the. Yeah, Ron Livingston. Yep. So in the Flash film, he will be playing John Henry Allen or Henry Allen. So, granted, it's a small role, but I mean, in the Snyder cut, you get at least 2 scenes of Billy Crudup speaking to Ezra Miller's Flash, and they just have great chemistry. They just have a great, So man, it's a bummer, but I'm hoping it's for the best for that Flash film. I don't know what they're doing. They want to do the Hamada-verse, the Walter Hamada-verse, no more Snyderverse. But if they're making that Flash film starring Ezra Miller, who debuted under a Zack Snyder film, and that Wonder Woman 3, which was again cast by Zack Snyder, and Aquaman 2 with Jason Momoa, who again was cast by Zack Snyder, that's still the continuation of the Snyderverse in essence. So enough with this bullshit. Just let the Snyderverse continue on HBO Max, because y'all are fucking babies and you don't want the Snyderverse stealing your spotlight. But, the fans have shown the interest, and it's also garnered support from new fans who want to see more of it, and the non-believers who have converted, and the haters who still hate, whatever, fuck them. We don't care about them. We care about the people who want to see more of this. So the battle continues, the war continues with hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. Subway got in on it. A lot of Subway is not a new player in this game. They have been a supporter from years ago with hashtag Release the Snyder Cut as well. So
You need to get The Rock involved, man.
Yeah, I did tweet at The Rock, but unfortunately no response, and I only got a few retweets. But we'll try again. Supposedly there's word that he's fighting, for to restore the Snyderverse, and he wants the Justice League to eventually meet with Black Adam, perhaps in a sequel, which I would be all up for. I mean, he already wants Henry Cavill, supposedly Superman, fighting against Black Adam in the Black Adam film.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, that's great, because that means Henry Cavill is going to continue being Superman. But who knows? They just wrapped up The Witcher season 2. So Henry Cavill seems like he's got free time right now. I don't think he has anything lined up right now. He can just build another computer, or he can be fucking Superman again. Like, holy shit. Come on, people. Like, cut the shit. I'm done with this. Watch the Snyder Cut again. Show the numbers. Let him see the numbers. We want to see more of it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. You guys know to follow our socials. Instagram at FM&TB, and then on Twitter at FM&TB Podcast. And then on Facebook, you can find us, Filmmaker Mike and the Boys. And if you guys are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, you can rate us and leave a review. We would definitely appreciate it. If you're listening to us on Spotify, or if you'd like to listen to us on Spotify, you can make sure to tap on the follow button so that you will be updated when new episodes release. And then we're also on iHeartRadio, Breaker, and many other streaming services. And then, of course, on YouTube, you can comment below on any of the topics that we've discussed. We'd love to hear from you guys. So, Pinhead, anything you want to mention?
Nope, nothing at all. You know, you can follow me where you can follow me. We're going to be doing an unboxing here pretty soon. So you can follow me on my Pinhead 198 YouTube channel to see that. And other than that, nothing news going on. So,
All righty,
Kuya.
Kuya.
Instagram, Old Man Jimmy. Yeah. Also, don't forget Sequester Jester. He's all over. Even though he's wearing a mask and wants to remain anonymous, he's all over social media.
He is everywhere.
So please
And
follow him
nowhere.
on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok for his. He hasn't done a thing in a while, huh? On TikTok.
Yeah, I don't think he has.
So yeah, maybe we can just convince him to do something on TikTok or whatever. So yeah, and you guys have a great Easter, guys.
Yep, you too. All righty. So y'all take care. Well, actually, yeah, his most recent one was March 18th. And he actually did something on the Snyder Cut. So that's pretty cool. Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his last one. All righty. Thank you guys for listening or for watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, we appreciate the support. And we want to thank you guys for your continued support. Until next time, we will be back. Stay safe out there.
Bye bye.